Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships. On the program for tonight, we have women's 1500 meter freestyle, men's 800 freestyle, and the 800 freestyle relay. Heat 1. Madam Referee. And they're off. In lane 1, Sophie Idle from the Dalhousie Tigers. Lane 2, Juliette Mercier from the Halifax Trojans. Lane 3, Isabel McBride, also from the Trojans. In lane 4, from St. John and Fundy Swim Club, we have Bryn Leroy. In lane 5, Allison Redford from the Halifax Trojans. In lane 6, Catherine Dawson from Crusaders. In lane 7, also from the Fundy Swim Club, Jordan Leroy. And in lane 8, Anna Ryda from the St. John's Legends. Women's 1500 meter freestyle, don't always have the chance to swim 1500, often are limited just to 800. But recently, Swimming Canada and the International Swim Federation has revised the program to let female athletes swim the 1500 meter freestyle. So long course, this is going to be 30 laps of the pool, there and back. And it's quite a long race. You don't want to take it out too strong because you want to have some energy left in the tank to finish finish strong as well. Sophie Idle in lane 1, a rookie for the Dalhousie Tigers. Not out too strong, but 800 meters is her specialty. So we're going to see how she can transfer that to the 1500 meter freestyle here tonight at the Dalplex. Bryn Leroy in lane 4 from Tide with an entry time of 17:26.4, looking to better that time and maybe chase a Swimming Canada cut. The cut for women 1500 meter freestyle, the senior trials cut 18:01.82, junior cut 18:11, the seniors 18:07.87. Chasing those cuts. The 16 over Eastern's cut would be a 18:33.38. But Bryn Leroy looking very calm, controlled in the water as she approaches the 200 meter mark of the women's 1500 meter freestyle. Four heats of the women's 1500 tonight, four heats of the men's 800. Long program tonight, but please feel free to message me or come see me and let me know if you have a shout out for a team, swimmer, or club. If I'm mispronouncing a name, I apologize, and I would be happy to correct it so that each swimmer gets the opportunity to have their name said correctly. So you can DM me on Instagram, Gregor DeVoe, or same name on Twitter. Just reach out, and I'd be more than happy to give shout outs on air. Bryn Leroy still in the lead from Tide, followed closely by lane 3's Halifax Trojans' Isabel McBride. So that's 300 meters down, 6 laps, 24 to go. Many swimmers we see wearing their knee skins, so oftentimes you're going to be wearing a knee skin when you're tapered or shaved for a swim meet. So this David Fry East Coast Championships is a pretty big meet for all the Atlantic teams. 275 swimmers here this weekend from 27 different Atlantic swim clubs. And it's a big meet. It's a great time to swim fast and have a chance to swim long course. A lot of the big meets when you get on the international stage and higher level are all long course meets, so having a chance to rehearse for those big meets, such as Easterns, CJCs, seniors, and trials, It's a great opportunity, and that's what we have here this weekend for you folks. The David Fry East Coast Championships held at the Dalplex in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Bryn Leroy, still a very steady kick, which is impressive this far into the race. Oftentimes you'll see freestylers save their legs for the very end because the stroke is so taxing on their upper body. They're going to want to try and have something to close out the race, the back half. Again, your Dalhousie Tigers. Sophie Idle in lane 1, flipping third. Dalplex, home of the Dalhousie Tigers, train here all season long. Just coming off a great youth sports held in Victoria, BC. Dalhousie women finished, I believe it was 8th, and the men finished 16th, which is a great step up from the athletes. Going into training for trials up next, which is a few weeks away, which is a very exciting time. And we're going to start entering a new macro cycle. These swimmers have this meet and then Easterns not far after. It's another great chance to practice whatever you're going to be swimming at Easterns. If you're chasing one last Easterns cut, this weekend's a great chance to get that. Some fast swimming from many different swimmers from Atlantic Canada, chasing those cuts, having a chance to practice before the bigger meet scale later on at Easterns. My name is Gregor DeVoe, and I'll be your broadcaster. I'll be alongside you, accompanying you, watching the meet for the weekend. I'm a member of the men's varsity team here at Dalhousie. I swim primarily breaststroke and IM, and I can't wait to share some of my swim knowledge with you folks at home. Lane 4, still Bryn Leroy from Tide. Very strong lead. 17:26, entered 1 minute faster than the rest of the field. She's looking to better that time. Already under the senior trials cut of 18:01.82. She's doing a phenomenal job. Lane 3, Isabel McBride from Halifax Trojans. Don't count her out just yet. 1500 is a very long race, so you got lots of time to make a move. Different race plans from everybody. Some save up the legs, some take it out a little faster, try and hold on. But we're able to see all the different race plans put to good use right here in this heat. Heat 1 of 4 for the women's 1500 meter freestyle. Next it will be the men's 800 freestyle. We'll be alternating. Women's 15, men's 8 all night long. Dalplex just got a facelift. All the walls used to be painted yellow, if you recognize that in previous video footages. But it just got a facelift. Everything is now painted white, including the diving platforms. So it looks much more modern in here, much brighter, which makes it nice for the swimmers, especially when you're swimming in the water. You're able to tell when a complex is dim or brighter, and it's very evident when you swim backstroke looking up, or even freestyle where you're looking down the whole time. Bryn Leroy still looking very strong in the water. Not galloping just yet. Galloping meaning the stroke is a little bit uneven, jumping to one side. She's still alternating her breaths, which is great to see. You like to see some symmetry in the stroke, especially when it's a long event like the 1500 meter freestyle. And again, Isabelle McBride, very close. She seems to be picking up the stroke rate. Might be trying to make a move on Bryn Leroy from Tide.
Boss man's super happy.
Good.
He's wandering from home. He's like,
Oh, he's able to watch?
Commentary. He said, that's excellent. If you have an HDMI monitor at home or something, we can hook it up so you can see a big view of this. Really? I just never brought one. I didn't think you were going to, if I know you're going to be here, I would have brought something. Like if a computer TV monitor or something that's HDMI, I'd give you a feed. I think that would help, that's all.
I might bring my laptop just tomorrow. That would work.
It'll be delayed. It'll have to be an actual monitor.
It has to be a monitor?
Yeah. Do you have an HDMI monitor? Yeah. Can you bring it tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, bring the HDMI and then you plug it into this port right here on the side. Yeah. We can send the output to it, that way you can see it. Let's do that. We'll bring that tomorrow.
Yeah? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Women's Heat 1 1500 meter freestyle still looking very strong in the water. Bryn Leroy still your leader, followed closely by Isabelle McBride from the Halifax Trojans. McBride 3 years younger than Bryn Leroy, so it's great to see what she can do here as a young swimmer striving for that 15-year-old cut. That Eastern's cut for 15-year-olds is 18:52, so she's already punched her ticket there for Easterns. So you know she might be chasing that CJC cut. Oh, excuse me, she already has that as well. 18:27. She's 3 seconds under the 18:30.23 time. Looking for her junior trials. That would be a great cut to have, and it would look great as well on her swim resume. Sophie Idle flipping in lane 1, looking great. Still strong underwaters. Shortening her stroke ever so slightly, but still breathing every 2. Trying to alternate that to find a little rhythm to get into as she settles into the final 500 meters of the race. Spirits seem very high on deck here, first day of the swim meet. Oftentimes, coaches will tell their swimmers you want to build up the swim meet like you build up a race. You don't want to use all your energy on the first day because we got 4 days to race here. So we got to make sure that we're still performing very well on the last day of the meet. As exciting as it is, you want to try and keep some of your emotions bottled up and just chill out. Get used to the venue, get used to the pool, and just find a quiet spot to relax while the distance events are in the pool. Try and stay loose, get off your legs, because you're going to want to save up some of that energy for the very last 50 where you're chasing down somebody similar as to what Isabelle McBride is doing to Bryn Leroy in lane 4. Staying loose, staying calm, and hydrating. The biggest things that you can do at a swim meet. See swimmers eating a quick little snack, a little go-go squeeze before an applesauce to get that little burst of energy. My go-to snack before a race is an apple. I like that a lot. It gives me some quick energy, wakes me up as well, and I always have my water bottle behind the block, so always staying hydrated. It's the biggest thing you can do leading up to a race weekend, and during the weekend as well. You want to stay hydrated as much as you can, replenishing your electrolytes and water as well. Water is very, very important. So these swimmers at a young age go through such heavy training, such tough macro cycles with their clubs and coaches. Parents see it as well when they're going home and they're eating crazy big dinners, always looking for snacks. So it's super important to replenish your body. And you really got to listen to see what it needs. If it needs rest, if it needs foam rolling, if it needs stretching, a nap. Super important to answer all those questions, especially on a big meet weekend like the weekend we have here for the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships. Your Halifax Trojans here is your host pool for the weekend. Training at the Dalplex as well, oftentimes training at the same time as Dallas Tigers in the shallow end. So for them, it's great, a home venue, home pool. Oftentimes you say there's an advantage, but here we are flipping on either side on the Omega touchpad. So we got non-slippery walls, and you got your standardized blocks with the wedge, so you're able to customize that. You're able to see when the camera pans back to the start end. The little wedge, there's 5 different settings. You can set on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And oftentimes it's personal preference as well as height. However, you're most comfortable to try and maximize the power generated when you're pushing off the block at the start of the race. Later this weekend, we're going to see there's a similar contraption for backstroke called the backstroke wedge. Again, different settings. You're able to adjust the height that the wedge is in the water to try and get a little extra push for that backstroke race to try and edge out your competition on a great start. Swimming, a sport of milliseconds and hundredths of a second. Really, sometimes it comes down to the touch. And here we go, Bryn Leroy approaching her final 100 meters in her 1500 freestyle, looking to better her time of 17:26.40. Isabel McBride, lane 3 flipping. You're hearing the sounds of the bell from the Trojans, 15 years old, looking to close out the race and chase down Bryn Leroy from Tide. And touching in first, lane 4, Bryn Leroy, followed by Halifax Trojans in lane 3, Isabel McBride. And it looks like it's going to be a fight for third. Sophie Idle in lane 1 from the Dalhousie Tigers, and in lane 6, Catherine Dawson from Crusaders. And it will be Catherine Dawson, I believe, from Crusaders out-touching Sophie Idle. The touchboard, or excuse me, the touchpads are not currently working, so we're going to get those official times out for you later on. But you can tune in on Meet Mobile or simply Google 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships to see the live results. Next up, we're going to have Heat 1 of men's 800-meter freestyle. Madam Referee.
And in lane Kershaw from SWAT. And in lane 1, we have Ethan Kershaw from SWAT. In lane 2, we have Langarita Cabrito Juan from Fast. In lane 3, we have Felix Shepard from Mount
Pro Marlins.
In lane 4, we have Logan Sparks from Dow Tigers. In lane 5, we have Owen Nicholson from H-Tech. In lane 6, we have Alex Hussey from Tide. In lane 7, we have Alex Johnson from the Crusaders. And in lane 8, we have Jonathan Cheshire from Fast.
Again, if we are butchering any of your names, please come and see us if you're here in person. If not, feel free to give us a shout. You can DM me on Instagram at Gregor DeVoe, and we will be sure to correct those names. We apologize in advance. Men's 800-meter freestyle, Adam.
Not a race I'd want to swim.
No, only 16 laps of the pool, so depending on how you fare with distance, you can treat this as a pretty fast race, not really saving up.
And we know Logan Sparks can swim these, but can the other boys keep up with him?
Yeah, Logan Sparks, a men's varsity athlete for the Dalhousie Tigers, just came off a great U Sports in Victoria. He is a distance swimmer, so he does know how to save up for these events.
But how tired will he be from the U Sport meet? We don't know.
Yep, so Logan, the top seed in this event with an 8:38.69. We're trying to see if he can better that time, but he's followed by Owen Nicholson from the Halifax Trojans, who just committed to Simon Fraser University.
Simon Fraser University is a great university. I actually have a friend there named Rafiq Jiwa.
Yeah, a D2 NCAA school, the only NCAA school in Canada. So that's interesting.
It's a very nice school. Lance Cansdale, Dalhousie Tigers coach, is actually from there. And the boys are now done their 100-meter length.
So Logan Sparks doing fairly well, breathing to his left, so I'm not sure if he sees lane 3, Felix Shepard on his right. But he's looking very strong at him.
Logan Sparks always looks very strong in the water, Gregor.
Owen Nicholson looking to make a move. Not sure if he's going to have enough room to do this on Logan. We know Logan's a very experienced distance swimmer, often training with Noah Mescal Gomes of the Dalhousie Tigers.
Noah Mescal Gomes is an Olympic athlete, Gregor.
Olympic athlete from Antigua. Went to the Rio 2016 Olympics, so I'm the 200-meter freestyle there.
He too had a beautiful meet this U Sports.
Yeah, often crowned AUS Athlete of the Week for the Dalhousie Tigers, winning all of his individual events, but a great teammate and comrade for Logan Sparks.
He's really helped Logan with his short distance game, and Logan's helped him with his distance game. It's great seeing those two athletes work together.
Pushing each other, going back and forth in practice, always great to see. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, Coach Lance Cansdale in the black shirt with the white shoes, cheering on his swimmer, Logan Sparks, in lane 4, the top seed of the men's 800-meter freestyle. The cut in this event for men, the senior trials cut in 8:40.28. So Logan already under that cut by 2 seconds. But we might think Owen Nicholson at 18 years old might be chasing that senior's cut of an 8:40.28, currently 5 seconds off of that.
Will he be able to keep up with Logan and get under that time barrier?
Logan seems
Let's
to be
find
saving up
out.
his legs, which is a good call. I mean, I'm not a big distance freestyle expert, but I do
We're
know
both
that.
not freestylers. We know that, Gregor.
Oh, we do know that. Adam and I trained together last year, both breaststrokers. Adam pushed me to my limits, my wits' end, and it was really great. But we knew those freestyle sets, we were at the
Those
back
weren't
of the
for
lane.
us.
Yep, back of the lane, led by Logan Sparks. As we can see, he's doing a phenomenal job right here. Owen seems to be making a move, galloping a little bit, breathing every two. So not sure if he sees Logan, but I'm sure he knows
He's
that
kept
he's
right
there.
up with Logan the whole time, which is great. That's what you want to do. You want to stick with the leading guy
Yep.
and hopefully pass them at the end.
Yeah, so we see right here, Logan's trying to get away, but still looking very calm and controlled in the water. Coach Lance is going to be very happy with this. Logan often starts to gallop when he tries to make a move or tries to pick up the pace, so Logan's looking very symmetrical in the water right now, still breathing only every two, so not sure how if that's going to be beneficial or not, but he seems to be very comfortable in the water.
I feel like we haven't given Felix Shepard enough grace. He's right up there with Owen and Logan.
Yeah.
Just a hair behind Owen, who's just a hair behind Logan. Good on you, Felix.
Felix traveling from Mount Pearl, so not sure when they flew in, but Mount Pearl
Where's Mount Pearl?
in Newfoundland.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big travel meet for them and another great racing opportunity for them. Long course, start a long course season, getting ready for Easterns, which is in a couple weeks.
What's the Eastern Cup for this event?
The Eastern Cup for this, for the 17 and over men, is an 8:55.04. So Felix chasing that time.
He's
4
at an
seconds off.
8:59 right now, so if he can stay with the boys, he can probably get that cut.
I don't know where Easterns are this year. Oh, they're in Windsor.
And Easterns is in Windsor this year. That's pretty cool. And Logan seems to be pulling away from the group, but Felix is staying right with Owen. He's not pulling away too hard, but he is getting a little bit of distance on the other two boys.
Oftentimes you'll see swimmers go towards the lane rope, Adam. Do you know why they do that?
Because they're reverting back to their training.
Reverting back to
Tactics.
the training. Oftentimes, if you can get close enough to a swimmer that's ahead of you, you can do what is called drag off of them.
That is true. I didn't think about that.
So dragging off a swimmer, meaning that it makes it a little easier for you. You're in the wake of their kick, so it's easier to swim. So you gotta put less effort for your swim, but you can go just as, and if not faster.
I've seen a lot of guys do that in sprint events where there's a lot more wake being drawn up.
Yeah. So it's definitely, there's some strategy involved as well as to how you swim it. If you're in the lead, maybe you want to go in the middle of the lane, not to give any swimmer that chance, but definitely interesting to see in these longer distance events. Again, tonight alternating between the women's 1500 meter freestyle and the men's 800. Up next, we're going to have Heat 2 of the women's 1500 meter freestyle. Highlighting that event's going to be Eileen Potvin in lane 4 from Sackville Waves. But we're going to focus our attention right now here on lane 4. Logan Sparks, followed by Owen Nicholson in lane 5 from the Halifax Trojans, and Felix Shepard in lane 3 from the Mount Pearl Marlins.
And that's the bell indicating that they have one more lap left. And as you can see now, Logan is really picking up the pace, really giving it his all. You can see his legs are kicking harder. And Owen's following suit. And Felix is also following suit.
Yep, so when you hear the bells, short course, it means you got 50 meters left. Long course is going to say you got 100 meters left, because one lap in this pool, just
Is
50 meters.
double
Adam.
the distance.
Yep, just 50 meters.
Will that mess them up, Gregor? I don't know.
Not sure. I know oftentimes, even in 400, you don't get a bell, so it's all on the swimmer to count their laps. So oftentimes you'll see in younger age group meets, kids swim in 450 meters, 300 meters, but here they're assisted by the timers, so we're counting for them, taking all their splits down. And we are fortunate enough that the touchpads are working, so we're going to able to give you an unofficial time for Logan as he comes into the wall.
He's really drawn out that distance between him and Owen.
So yeah, we can see Logan starting to gallop here, but it doesn't matter. He's got 2 meters to go.
And he's
Adam.
touching in at
An 8:43.97, lane 4, Logan Sparks Followed closely in second, lane 5, Owen Nicholson at an 850.00, and Felix Shepard in lane 3 at an 853.15.
Congratulations, boys. That's the unofficial first, second, and third for this heat.
Very good swims, Adam. Touching in fourth, lane 2 at a 9:06.46. And that's going to conclude Heat 2 of the men's 800-meter freestyle, which was Heat 1.
Those were some fantastic swims, Gregor. Those guys have heart. I know I couldn't swim that.
Yeah. And now, even more painful item, women's Heat 2 1500 freestyle.
Little known fact about 1500 meters. I've never swam it. Both of my coaches have tried to get me to. Never have in my 7 years of swimming. Yes.
Wow. All right, well, that's an interesting fact for sure. But we're
So I
gonna turn our
have
attention
very
to
little to say about this.
Madam Referee.
And in lane 1, we have Chloe V. Bishop from Whitsack.
Tritons.
And in lane 2, we have Yale Bloom from
The Halifax Trojans.
And in lane 3, we have Kaylee Simmons from
The St. John's Legends.
And in lane 4, we have Alan Potvin
From the Sackville Waves.
And in lane 5, Olivia Williams
From the
from
Wolfville Tritons.
lane 6, Etta McClellan.
From the Trojans.
And lane 7, Sarah A. McNabb.
From Fredericton.
And in lane 8, Milena Richard.
From CVAC. Excuse me, I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me, but CVAC is from the Kodiak Vikings Aquatic Club. So they were not here last year at the David Fry meet, Adam. Here
Were
this
they
year, so
not?
we're excited to see what the Vikings can do. I was saying before, Adam, you know, day one of a long swim meet, you're gonna try and contain your emotions because you don't wanna waste all your energy on the first day. Some swimmers not even swimming the first day here, but are still here to cheer on their teammates. So, how did you used to do in A-Trip? You said you never swam in the 1500 meters before. How
Never
did you do it? So did you just find a quiet corner, read a book, or were you going crazy on the sides with your teammates?
Generally watch my teammates. It's a longer race, so it is hard to cheer for the whole time because sometimes, with this event, we could be sitting out here for about 20 minutes, 21 minutes. So you kind of gotta cheer on your teammate when you see them getting a little slower. When they're breathing towards you, I like shouting at them.
Right.
But I just like being there for my team if I can, and yeah.
Yeah, I know oftentimes, especially for these longer travel weekends, thinking for these St. John teams, maybe flying out earlier today after getting off the plane, or maybe they took the ferry, not sure which way they got here, but I know that loose swim is super important
Yeah.
to get those jitters out, just to try and get some good feeling back in your legs, get the blood flowing, and really set the tone for the weekend.
Setting the tone is a good thing for the weekend, and you don't also want to use too much energy up on the first day because then the rest of the weekend you won't have as much energy. It's really about conserving and trying to put it out in small bursts each day.
Yeah, depending how your events roll out, maybe all your best events are on the last day. So
That would be
you really
hard.
gotta think about that, especially these age group meets. You're swimming upwards of 7 events sometimes, whereas when you get up to the university level, you're only swimming 4. So
That is
every
true.
race counts.
7 events is a lot of races to swim.
It really is, yep. So we're going to be here with you all weekend documenting the swimmers' progress and successes. And tomorrow there will be medal presentations that will be broadcasted as well on the 3-meter platform, as well as the 3 trophies displayed on the springboard.
And what are those trophies for, Gregor?
I believe it is top overall male team, female team, and combined. Don't quote me on that. If I remember correctly, that's what it was last year. So, assuming there is some consistency and tradition, at the David Fry meet, it'll be the same thing.
That would make sense, and I would know that.
Looking good right now. It seems to be like a pretty dead heat between lane 7 and lane 3. 7 being Sarah McNabb from Fast, and in lane 3, Kaylee Simmons from the St. John's Legends. Don't forget about lane 5, Olivia Williams from the Wolfville Tritons. Wolfville not far, so you can guess maybe lane 5, Olivia Williams went to school today. Normal day, ate her lunch, talked to her friends, and then drove here.
To
That's a
swim the
packed day,
daunting 1,500
mentally and
meters.
physically exhausting.
True. And just a little heads up, guys. In lane 3 is our leader, I believe. It's Kaylee Simmons, and she is 12. And the person in lane 4 is Aline Potvin, who's 16. That's a large age gap. Those age gaps aren't seen in university sport very often.
Nope, 12 years old, swimming distance freestyle. Maybe not even generating much lactic acid in the arm. So this might bode very well for Kaylee Simmons in lane 3 from St. John's. Again, restating those cuts. The Easterns cuts for 16 and over girls, 18:33:38. There isn't even an Easterns cut for a 12-year-old girl, but for 13, it's going to be 19:12.10.
Those are fast times.
Those are fast, especially considering long course. Crazy. Last year was an exception year for trials where they made exceptions that you could go in with short course conversion times because of the COVID year. Not many people had access to long course pool, so it made it more available
For
to
people
clubs
who couldn't have.
across the country. Yeah.
Like back home in Belleville, where I'm from, we only had a short course pool and didn't have access to long course pools during COVID. So that'd be a godsend.
Yeah, and the university season last year, Adam, in AUS was all short course. This year,
And U Sports was long course too, yeah.
This year, U Sport was long course, so that
Yeah.
gave university athletes across the nation a chance to swim long course, because typically it's just the Canada West teams and the OUA, so the Ontario University Athletics clubs, or excuse me, schools that swim long course in season.
I didn't know that, Gregor.
Yep. So here, the AUS, the Atlantic University Sports League, consisting of UNB, Dalhousie Tigers, Acadia, Mount A, and Memorial, located in St. John's. All the dual meets and championship meets there are going to be short course, so you don't have a chance to swim long course. Only chance to swim long course would be meets like this, where you're swimming for your school team, or meets where you're going home affiliated with your club. That's your only chance really to clock some fast times long course, Adam.
And a lot of the bigger meets around the world are long course, so it's good to have those times.
Yeah.
And just a quick reminder, guys, Kaylee Simmons is still in the lead with Olivia Williams, not far off in lane 5.
If you're just joining us now, I'm Gregor Laveau, accompanied by Adam Bauma.
I'm Adam Bauma.
We're going to be your broadcasters for this weekend. Can't wait to share some great races here at the Dalplex with you. If you have any shout-outs, any comments, feel free to DM me, Gregor DeVoe. We'll be sure to get that out on air so you can hear it live with us from the
Any
Dalplex.
birthdays. We love celebrating birthdays at a swimming. What a joy to be swimming on your birthday.
Oftentimes you can rally the whole deck, whole club to even sing happy birthday.
And that's a
great.
fun time.
Yep. Swim some best times, some fast times on your birthday as well. Even better, Adam. We'll try and pick out some fun swimming trivia for you guys. It would have been great to do here for the longer events, but now we have time to prep for the rest. Some fun facts about the history of swimming, some little known facts I know I touched on the wedge before on the block as well as the backstroke wedge. Not many people know how that works, Adam. I was telling them how the wedge on the block, how you're able to adjust it on preference, but more so on height, trying to generate the most power off the block because swimming, it's a sport about millisecond, hundreds of seconds.
Yes, that's
So
true.
trying to edge your component from the very start of the race can bode well for you at the very end.
I always found it interesting seeing how some of the same height guys will switch it up. Some guys like their block way far back. Some guys like it really close up.
Yep.
I don't know what's better. There's probably some scientific backings for some things, but I think it's all just about preference.
Yeah, a lot of it's personal preference. I said backstroke wedge as well is pretty new to the sport. Dalhousie and the Dalplex has 8 of them, so we're going to see those for the backstroke events. Not sure how the younger swimmers will adapt to that, or if they'll even decide to use one, because you do have the preference if you'd like to put it in the water or not. But again, those are adjustable. That varies in height in the water, and it's just to give you a little more grip because
Some of
yellow
those
touch
walls,
pads,
not very grippy.
not the grippiest of things. Nope. Coach Cansdale checking out for the night, trying to make it home before the snowstorm starts. We're expecting about 20 to 30 centimeters here tonight, Adam.
I'm hoping for school off tomorrow.
School off tomorrow would be great, but again, if the Dalplex is to close, I did hear from the meet manager that it would be timed finals at night.
Timed finals are always interesting.
Yep. So oftentimes these distance events are already timed finals like we see today. But
Yes.
for example, a 50-meter freestyle or 100-meter freestyle, where if you're going in first, you're banking on having 2 swims.
2 swims, yeah, because 50 meters is not a lot of time. You can mess up just slightly, and it can cost you dearly.
Yep. So having a chance to swim it in the morning, a little rehearsal, and then fine-tune in the night is often the go plan for many swimmers.
I know a lot of my best times have always happened at night.
Yep. At night, you're often able to get in a nap. If you're at a hotel in a way meet, or even at home, comfort of your own bed, a nap is very nice. Able to refuel, roll out, maybe use a massage gun if you have that, or just stretch.
Less nerves because you've already swam the race today, and
Yep. So you know
now
exactly
you got
what
to do
you're
it
doing.
again.
Yep. But everybody's still looking strong in the water. You're able to see some people are saving up their legs. And they are just around 11 minutes at the
Which
wall.
is close to half of the race. I always find it interesting, Gregor, watching how different people stroke through the water. Some people straight arm, some people like to drag their fingers a little bit more over the water.
Yep.
It's really interesting seeing the differences and variations in everyone's different swimming game.
And you know what, Adam? Oftentimes you'll even see one person might even have 2 variations of their own stroke.
Really.
If they're sprinting it, they might shorten up their stroke, have a little higher stroke rate. Or if they're going for a longer event, such as the 800 or the 1500-meter freestyle, that long, smooth, controlled entry with like the 6-beat kick might be the way to go. 6-beat kick meaning you're taking 1 or 2 kicks every 6 strokes, trying to save up those legs because you're going to be powering through with those arms, trying to save up the legs for the back half of the race. That might be a game plan with your coach. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you take it out super strong and then just bank on your arms being your best friend at the end of the race. But you know, Adam, everybody has their own race plan, and you can't judge because they've rehearsed this so many times in practice, gone over all their pace with their coach, and have thought about the best way to attack this race as they
And
swim it here at the
everyone
time
needs
final.
different things in their races. Like I remember watching the Olympics 2 Olympics ago, and the guy who got the gold didn't use his legs at all, and the other guys were, and he still beat them.
Yep.
It's all about what's more comfortable for you and what works for you, because different bodies need different things.
So it really comes down to that as well. Oftentimes, too, if we see on the camera, the far side, some coaches might even have some signals with their swimmers. One
Really?
hand up might mean that they're on pace. Two hands up might mean that they got to go faster. I know my high school coach, when I was at school, I went to prep school in Boston. We had different signals for the 500-yard swim there. So there we didn't have we didn't have the 1500-meter freestyle. We had the mile and the 500. Two arms up for our guys when they were on pace. One arm up, just wave and said, you got to pick it up. You got to get back there. So again, different clubs, different signals, and for each swimmer, it's personal preference.
And sometimes those signals would be really helpful because I know in these races you can feel like you're doing great, but you might be off by about a second every 100 meters, which is a lot.
Especially if you're at the front of the pack, trying to chase a cut time such as a trials, CSC, or CJC cut. If you got nobody to pace with, the best friend's going to be your stopwatch. And who's watching that stopwatch, Adam?
Your coach.
Your coach. So they're going to be telling you whether you got to pick it up or if you're cool right where you are. Just settle into a nice, comfy spot, find that rhythm, and just keep going.
I have a question, Gregor. Did your coach have a signal to slow down?
I can't say there was a signal. I mean, I didn't swim the 500 yard, but I don't think there was. I think we're either trying to stay on pace or just go faster.
Because I know some people might actually take it out too fast and die, which
Yeah.
is not optimal.
Those are not optimal. No. Oftentimes you see that in the 200 stroke events as well.
Yes.
Backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, the 200-meter butterfly. You know what they
That's-
say, Adam, the 4 stages of the 2 fly. Dive in the first 50, butterfly, butter Y, butter cry, and butter die.
That is the saying, Gregor.
Yep, so on the very end, the very last part, you're just channeling everything you got, digging deep, trying to find the power to just lift your arms above the water and really just finish that race.
I know for myself in that race, I've actually taken a single arm stroke during that race and got DQ'd. I get it.
I would
It's
like to
hard.
see that. Fun fact, I am not a butterflyer, but my first AAA cut was in the 200-meter butterfly.
Ooh.
I got to swim it twice in one day because there were only 5 of us swimming it. So I automatically qualified for finals, Adam.
That sounds like fun.
And guess what? To make things better, it was a long course meet. So I got half the walls I typically get.
And walls and fly is all you want. Pushing off that wall and doing underwater is a lifesaver in those races.
Yeah, working in those underwaters and really making the most, it's great. Even the 200-meter breaststroke, Adam, you know quite a fair share about that.
It's a doozy, and you try and get those pullouts as long as possible. Like I know Apollo Hess at the U Sports event, his pullouts are insane,
Yeah,
and he
about
goes
15 meters.
incredibly fast.
So for him, great short course swimmer he is. He struggled a little bit long course because
He
he's
did.
missing half those walls.
His walls were incredible.
So Olympian Gabe Master Mateo
Cleaned
took the
up.
spotlight from him there, set 2 Canadian records in the 50 and the 100-meter breaststroke, going 27 and 101.
That
Long
is
course,
fast.
which is
And the
crazy.
thing is, Apollo Hess actually has the Canadian record for the 50 breast in short course, though.
Yep.
So it really shows how each of those swimmers are really good at those events, but especially
in one basin.
yes,
rather than the other.
specializing in the long course or the short course.
So yeah, oftentimes when you have a prelim swim of short course meters and then finals of long course, it's like 2 totally different races out of them.
It is two totally different races.
So normally they follow like a flying V pattern, lane 4 being the fastest, and then slowly dragging down along the lanes. But you know, when you go from short course to long course, it can be all over the place. You have no idea what to
It
expect.
is literally anyone's game.
Lane 7, Sarah McNabb, 100 meters to go, looking very strong, trying to close out from Fredericton.
And coming in second right now is lane 4's Aline Potvin.
Oh, lane 3's here in the bell as well, Adam. 12-year-old Kaylee Simmons from St. John's.
She is giving it her all out there.
I am impressed, Adam. 12 years old doing what she's doing.
12-year-olds doing
guts.
a 1500, that is a lot of meters.
And the bell is ringing for lane 5 now. Olivia Williams from the Wolfville Tritons.
You can really see swimmers pick up their pace when they hear that bell. That bell is a lifesaver.
Lane 2, Yale Bloom here in the bell now. 13 years old from the Halifax Trojans. So she's got that home pool advantage, Adam.
Home pool advantage is a real thing. I remember swimming in Acadia, and their pool is all sorts of out of whack.
Yeah, it feels like you're swimming in a bathtub.
It does. I couldn't get any touch on the walls. I'd slip all over the walls.
Your whole depth
And
perception's all strange as well.
I couldn't figure out my strokes into the wall.
Nope.
It's ridiculous.
And when you go from training and get into a rhythm at a home pool, you think it's going to be pretty consistent, but that's why warm-up is so important.
So important.
Touching in first with a time of 18:39.48 in lane 7, Sarah McNabb from Fredericton. Followed closely, lane 4 is here in the bell, but it will be lane 3 touching second, 19:01.23. Kaylee Simmons from St. John's, Adam.
Wow, that is a fast time
19:01. That's her Eastern, that's her Eastern's cut, Adam.
because she's 12 years old
She's got
and
that 13-year-old
she
cut.
has a 13-year-old cup, which is incredibly impressive.
And rounding out the heat in third right there, 19:16.28 from lane 5's Olivia Williams from the Wolfville Tritons. Great swims. Again, very impressed for a 1,500-meter freestyle to be able to come back that fast.
That is something. Yeah, it's not super long. And we're just waiting on lane 1's Chloe Bishop. She's going to be coming in at a time of... I can't read the stop.
She's got about 5 meters to go, Adam. I'll get the time. She's going to touch in at a time of 20:46.34. Chloe Bishop from the Wolfville Tritons.
That
The board
is
is
a
official.
best time.
So here we are, Adam. Heat 2 of the men's 800-meter freestyle. Running 1 minute late, but that's all right because
1 minute late is nothing in
Yeah.
a swim meet.
nothing is, especially for distance events. But here we are. We're going to turn the mic over to Madam Referee.
And in lane 1, we have Reed Leroy.
From St. John and Fundy Swim Club.
And in lane 2, we have Luke Ellis.
From the Crusaders.
And in lane 3, we have Daniel A. Dubois.
From Fredericton Aquanaut Swim Team.
And lane 4, we have Jesse Canny.
Also from Fredericton.
In lane 5, we have Liam McCarthy.
From the CBS Bluefins.
And lane 6, we have Luke McLean.
From the Pictou County Mariners.
Lane 7, we have a great name, Adam Patterson Hussey.
From St. John and Fundy Swim Club.
And in lane 8, Nicholas Matteau.
From the Sackville Waves.
This is an 800-meter freestyle. And coming into the first 100, we have lanes 3 and 4 battling it out for first, with lane 5 also coming in. This is a close race so far.
Yeah, great, Adam. Flipping at a 104.9, followed by lane 5, 105.1, and in lane 4, 105.6. Pretty close after 100 meters.
Those are quick splits.
Lane 3 flipping first, Daniel Duguay from Fast, 15 years old at a 104. That's fast to take out an 800 free.
That is incredibly fast.
I'm trying to remember where my last travel meet was, Adam. My big travel meet when I was in age group swimming. I think it would have been age group internationals held at Etobicoke.
Now I'm trying to think about where my last big travel meet was. I honestly don't remember having a large travel meet with the team.
Maybe the Point Clear Invitational in December? That might be the last one.
Maybe.
So I think I do remember Belleville going there.
And coming in on their 200 lengths, we have Daniel Duguay touching in first. We have
215.91.
Jesse Caney coming in second, and Liam MacArthur coming in third.
Yeah, so less than a second separates first place and third place, and they're all looking very strong in the water still. You see some stroke rates are picking up at them, legs are kicking in, but 800 freestyle, again, like I said, only 16 laps. So it's not crazy long, but you're gonna have to kick it into high gear pretty soon, or else you're gonna fall behind.
And what you don't want to do is fall behind and lose where you are in a distance race. That's how you can drop a lot of time. You want to stay up with the pack.
Stay up with the pack, trying to assert yourself in the top group. Then it feels like everybody alternates as to who takes the lead. And it comes down to oftentimes the very last 25 to see who's going to take the whole event. But we saw a great 800 freestyle before, put together by Dalhousie's Logan Sparks in lane 4. He was just off his best time of 8:38.69. But we're going to see if anybody here can come close to him. And right now, it looks like Daniel Duguay in lane 3 from Fredericton is going to do just that. He's coming in here. There's going to be 300 meters at him, so they got 500 meters to go, just 10 laps. But Daniel Duguay is going to flip at a 3:28.66, followed by lane 4, 3:30.24, and in lane 5 at a 3:31.47. Liam MacArthur
They
not far
have
behind.
split up a little bit, but they're all in each other's wake, so they can still pull in and get to the first position.
Again, the cut in this event for Easterns, 17 and overs in 8:55.04. Your senior trials cuts in 8:40.28. Junior trials in 8:44.55. And CJC is in 8:44.55 as well. Oh, so the CJC is the exact same as the junior trials cut. I'm just noticing that now, and I've swam for how many years? 12 years, and I'm just noticing that the 17 to 18 cut for CJCs is the exact same as the junior trials.
That is interesting. And coming into their 400th meter, we have Daniel Duguay coming in first and Jesse Caney coming in second, not far off. With Liam MacArthur coming
Duguay
in
flipping at a
third.
4:42.11 to mark the halfway point in this race.
And just a quick heads up, guys, you guys should tell your friends and family to come in and tune in and watch your friends and kids swim this week.
AOTV, tune in, watch the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships. Adam and I will be with you the whole weekend.
We're very excited to be with you guys.
Love watching swimming, big fanatic of swimming, especially it's fun to watch on this end too sometimes, Adam, when we're not actually in the water competing.
And not being stressed out about being in the water is probably one of the better ways to watch swimming.
Yep.
Because I know when I'm stressed out to get in the water, I'm not really paying attention.
Yeah. It's great to be on this side of things in the off season. You're able to enjoy yourself a little bit. But now we hear it. I overhear the bell, so we know that's the last 100 meters, Adam.
Last
Here they
100
are.
meters, we still have Daniel Duguay in first, with Jesse Caney coming in second, and we have Liam MacArthur coming in third.
Daniel Duguay picking up the pace. We see him right there, and he is just doing a fantastic job closing out this 800-meter freestyle.
That's what you got to do in these races. You got to leave it all
15
in
years
the
old,
water.
so he's got a ton more years ahead of him.
one more time.
And if he can solidify himself as a distance guru here in Atlantic Canada, Adam, that's going to take him places.
I know one coach who likes distance swimmers, Lance Cansdale
Yep.
from Dalhousie.
Loves his distance swimmers. Owen Nicholson, another big name in the distance crew in Nova Scotia and in Atlantic Canada. He represented Canada last year at the Junior Open Worlds, brought home a silver medal.
He was swimming with Ella.
He was swimming with Ella Dobson, who is a member of the women's varsity team here at Dalhousie. And here Daniel Duguay with 10 meters to go. Looks like he's going to win this heat, and he's going to touch in at a time of 9:32.09, followed by Jesse Caney in lane 4, touching at a time of 9:37.30. And with 10 meters to go, lane 5 looks like they're going to claim third place. Liam MacArthur from CBSC is going to touch in at a time of 9:51.43.
And just a quick heads up for you guys, Daniel Duguay went an 11-second best time unofficially right now. That's a big time drop.
That is. Great swims again, Adam. You know, if it's going to be big time drops like this all weekend, I can't wait to see what's in store for us tomorrow.
It's going to be a blast. And we're just waiting on Nicholson Matteau in lane 8. He's coming in strong into this wall.
Touching at a time of 10:31.18. He bettered his time, Adam, 9 seconds.
Lane 2. And next up is lane 2, Luke Ellis. He's coming in strong also. Really gliding through the water. Beautiful stroke.
14 years old, you know, this is a tough event to do, but he did a great job. He's going to touch in at a 10:52.16. Rounding out Heat 2 of the men's 800 freestyle, and we're on to Heat 3, women's 1,500 meter freestyle.
The results on the board are official.
Results on the board are now official, and we will turn the mic to Madam Referee. Heat 3, women's 1,500 meter freestyle.
In lane 2, we have Arwin Middleton Meekin.
From the Halifax Trojans.
And lane 3, we have Hayla Parsons.
From CBSC.
Lane 4, Isabel Lata.
From the Greenwood Dolphin Swim Club.
Lane 5, Chrisanna McLeod.
From St. John and Fundy Swim Club.
Lane 6, Mackenzie Wishart.
From the St. John's Legends.
And lane 7, Lillian Bishop.
From the Halifax Trojans. CBSC will be the Corner Brook Rapids Swim Club. I think I might have missed that one last time as well, and I apologize. All right, Adam, I got a fun fact for you. Did you know freestyle means you can do any stroke?
I did, but no one is crazy enough possibly to swim this event anything other than front crawl.
Yeah, it would take a big incentive for me to do any other stroke. Even even just backstroke. Backstroke's tiring on its own. I'm thinking about doing 30 laps backstroke.
30 laps backstroke is a lot. It's a lot of watching the ceiling, and I don't personally enjoy that.
Nope, nor do I. But I would much rather take 30 laps of backstroke than 30 laps of butterfly.
30 laps of butterfly would be brutal. Back in my old club, we used to have Hell Week, where we used to do a large set of fly every day. We had a 1,500 meter total set one time. It was brutal.
Wow. That was our punishment if we were misbehaving in age group. We would do 200s butterfly until everybody was under 3 minutes.
That is insane.
It built character. And
Character's one way to put it.
the coach got lots of respect after the first time we did that, and
I would definitely listen up.
we did not misbehave much after that.
No. And just a little crazy tidbit, Arwen Middleton and Lillian Bishop are 11 years old, and they're swimming this crazy event. That is awesome. Huge respect to them.
Yep. On the women's side, distance events, what's the big name that comes to mind, Adam? From the U.S., Katie Ledecky.
I didn't know that.
Solidified herself. She's great at 800 freestyle. She's got the world record in that, world record in the 1,500.
Really?
World champion, you name it. She's up there training. She trains with the Florida Gators. She does a fantastic job, and we're going to see her. I believe she might be swimming this weekend, actually, the TYR Pro Swim Series. So not here in Halifax, actually. She's swimming in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh.
She's got a nice sunny weekend ahead of her, not 30 centimeters of snow. But she's training. She's getting ready for those Olympic trials that are going to be held later.
Are the Olympics this year?
No, I lied. Olympic trials are next year.
Ah.
I think there's Worlds this year, though.
Worlds this year? That would be fun.
Yeah, I know there's some big event. I'm not sure if it's Worlds or Commonwealth Games, but
I don't know.
we're going to look that up and get that for you.
Yeah, I legit did not know who that was. So FINA Worlds are this year.
Yeah, the FINA World Championships are going to be this year, held in July, and then the World Juniors are going to be in August. Then you obviously have your European Short Course Championships in November. That happens every year. And then the U.S. Trials, U.S. National Championships in July as well. So lots of big swim meets to come for international athletes around the world. That's what we love to see.
That is what we love to see. I really like seeing professional swimming. I think it makes a bigger name for swimming, and I think it really gets the name out there.
And you know something that I've been missing, Adam? ISL, the International Swim League. It used to be a big thing, and it's since been on hold.
Has it been how long has it been on hold for?
It's been on hold for 2 seasons now.
Why?
That's a great question. I think the biggest part had to do that it was going to be held in Russia last year, and that caused lots of controversy. But, you know, that was a great way for high-level athletes to stay in the mix when they didn't want to just train at home with their normal club. They could go over, train with their ISL teams.
And also make some extra money,
Yeah.
which is really big for those big-name swimmers.
Yeah.
Because they don't make a lot of money.
You're thinking football, they have the NFL, hockey, NHL, where you're signing major, big contracts. Or swimming, what do you have, really? Not much.
The Olympics, but you're not allowed being paid for the Olympics.
No, and you're making money over, you're not really making money, you can have some sponsorships, but you can't live off of that. So ISL was a great way for some swimmers to make a small living, still have a chance to race, do what they love. And again, some short course racing, which we don't always see, that we're talking. This major...
Short course racing is not very big in the bigger, faster crowd.
The international level, indeed.
I would like to see some yard swimming.
Yeah,
I've never
yards.
watched yard swimming, but it seems like it'd be fast-paced, interesting, lots of walls, which I'm personally bad at, but I think are interesting.
Yeah, so yards, if you want to see some fast yard swimming in the next couple of weeks, you're going to have the NCAA for the women's that are going to be swam in Knoxville. And the men's, I'm not sure where those are going to be swam, but it's probably going to be the fastest yard swimming you're going to see all year. The biggest headline
D1?
this year? D1, yeah.
D1.
Leon Marchand.
How fast is he?
France. setting world records, currently leading the NCAA in the 100 breaststroke, 100 backstroke, 100 butterfly, 200 IM, and 400 IM. So he is a very versatile swimmer.
That is incredibly versatile.
So he swims at Arizona State Sun Devils, being coached by the coach that led Michael Phelps, Bob Bowman. So he knows what he's doing. When it
Bob
comes to
Bowman
the
is a
butterfly and
legend in
IM.
the sport.
Yeah. So again, it's great to see, especially when you're a university athlete as well. It's awesome to see what other people are able to achieve. And for young swimmers like these age group swimmers here, just looking up to say, maybe one day I can do that.
Something to aspire to is always great.
Yeah, swimming can bring you to a great academic institution. Whether it takes you out of the country, if you stay in Canada, there's some great spots that you're able to combine swimming with a fantastic education. Again, we encourage you to try and engage with us over the live stream, whether that's giving a shout out, wishing happy birthday to someone tuning in, or just wishing good luck to a swimmer. Do that by reaching out to us on Instagram. Again, Gregor DeVoe, GregorDeveau on Instagram. We'll see that and we'll be sure to
Shout your swimmers out.
shout your swimmers out.
And once again, if we're messing up names, I know I'm butchering names right now, and I feel horrible about it. Please tell us. Please.
Yeah.
We're trying to get
Day
better.
one of the 4-day meet, and we got lots of room to improve, lots of downtime as well. So we're going to try and do just that to give you the best experience at home if you're not able to join us here in person.
And it might be hard to join us in person tomorrow because it might be snowy.
Yeah, so the commute, you might want to leave a couple minutes early. If you're driving in from the valley, let's say, give yourself a
Or-
little extra time.
Better yet, just tune in with us.
Yeah, tune in with us. You got some great camera angles. You're able to see the board on the screen as well. You'll hear our voices. We're going to keep you in the loop and give you all the up-to-date, everything you need to know. What's going down at the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships held here at the Delplex, Halifax, Nova Scotia. After 800 meters, your heat leader is in lane 6. Mackenzie Wishart from the St. John's Legends. Still looking very strong in the pool. I can only imagine what that feels like. You know, I've done some pretty hard sets, but I don't think anything really compares to the 1500 freestyle, Adam.
Sets are very different than a race.
Yeah.
Sets you gotta breathe, sets you gotta sit there for a little bit.
Yeah.
It might only be a couple seconds, but it's nothing like just going for a solid 20, 30 minutes race.
Yeah, sets you get to chit chat with your friends, grab a little sip of water, but here your head's down and you got a race plan to follow and you're trying to follow that to a T. So, you know, it's a little difficult at times, but you're going to think you're going to be so
remember
relieved after
The
that.
dehydration.
Oh,
Not drinking enough and having a pounding headache after I finish.
yeah.
The 800, that is. I've never swam the 15. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine. That's almost double the distance.
Mhm.
So potentially double the pain. I don't know.
Or is it just the same pain for twice as long?
You'd have to imagine it would get worse.
Yeah, true. I was saying before how important hydration was and to feed your body in between sessions. You really got to listen to see what you need, especially the water. I mean, Adam and I are up here in the rafters, and we got bottles of water, and we're not even swimming. But it's hot on
It's
deck,
hot.
and you don't feel yourself sweating.
But you're sweating constantly. You're losing those electrolytes.
Oftentimes you'll see higher level athletes as well, all bundled up. I know when I was at AUS, I was wearing my puffer jacket, my toque, sweater, pants, trying to keep my muscles warm because the last thing you want to do after warming up is to catch a chill and your muscles all tense up again. So you're trying to stay loose, relaxed, but the best way to do that is to bundle up and just drink water because you're going to be sweating.
You do have to drink water. That is a major component. I know guys like Noah Gomes, he's pretty much fully dressed. He's even got socks on.
Yeah, you got to dress like an onion in
Yes,
layers.
Layers.
You want to do that on deck and then here in Halifax as well because you have no idea what our weather's going to be.
It's not even the weather that's that bad. It's the wind.
Yeah, the wind coming
Wind
off.
always gets me.
Yeah. This clock's just around 16:30. And the heats are looking good. We see some people are starting to engage their legs a little more, pick up the stroke rate, especially there in lane 2. Hala Parsons. Again, if we're butchering your names, or if I'm just butchering your name, please let me know. Hala
Please
Parsons,
shoot us a
Corner Brook.
text at Gregor DeVoe on Instagram.
Yep. No space, no underscore, no hyphen,
Capitals?
no capitals.
No
Lowercase, everything lowercase.
Keeping it simple.
We'll tune in and see if we have any requests. We have no requests. So we have still not heard the bells, but I'm sure those bells are coming relatively soon. I have not been keeping tally. I don't think Adam has either. So as much as we would like to provide an update with
I
a lap
have
there.
not.
Oh my gosh.
And
Speak
the
of the
bells
devil,
are here.
we're hearing the bells. Lane 3 and lane 6. Hala Parsons and Mackenzie Wishart,
They're both picking up the pace. You can see their legs start kicking hard.
the two 13-year-olds in the heat, Adam.
Two 13-year-olds, yeah. And they're just absolutely killing it.
So
Gregor.
St. John's and Corner Brook. So some teams have not entered today, but we will see them the rest of the weekend, Adam.
What teams are that, Gregor?
Just looking, quick glance at the program. I don't think I see any St. Stephen Shark Attack. I don't know if I see any Churro. Or some teams may have just entered for the relays, but not the distance. Again, totally dependent on the macro cycle of the team. If this is a fully rest, fully taper meet, or if it's just another meet where we're trying to see how you can get up and race in the middle of a tough training cycle.
And I don't know if they've done many long course races yet, but getting a long course race in is always a good thing early on in the season.
Yeah, we know start of the new year, oftentimes, anytime after Christmas is really long course season.
It is.
So we're trying to get into the rhythms for the big meets such as Easterns, Juniors, Seniors, and Trials.
Oh, and it's a close race right now. Lane 3 and 6 battling it out.
Lane 3 will get it the touch at a 21:02.95, followed closely Lane 6 at a 21:03.77. But that was a great race, great duel between those two young ladies.
And those are both unofficially best times for both of those swimmers by almost a full minute.
Yeah. Well done. And we're on to the Heat 3 of the men's 800 freestyle. We're going to turn the mic over to Madam Referee after this heat is done.
And we got Chrisanna McLeod coming in right now. She's at about the 10-meter mark. She's done a strong race, but she had her cap fall off, and that's always a bad thing. It's never great, but she's doing great. Touching in with a time of
24:28.95.
Results are official.
And results on the board on that bottom left-hand screen are official.
Coming up next, we have Heat 3 of the men's 800-meter freestyle. Madam Referee.
And in lane 1, we have Avery Fleischauer.
From the Bluefins.
And lane 2, we have Jack A. Addison.
From Fredericton Aquanauts.
In lane 3, Oliver Brown.
From the Blast Swim Club.
In lane 4, Henry J. Pearson.
From the St. John's Legends.
In lane 5, Owen Carew.
From the Mount Pearl Marlins.
Lane 6, Brody McPherson.
From the Crusaders.
And lane 7, Will A. Franklin.
From the Kodiak Vikings Aquatic Club. Adam, this 800-meter freestyle compared to the 1500 feels like a sprint race.
It really does. It's half the distance, and half the distance is quite a lot when you're talking about almost kilometers.
Yep. So yeah, the 1500-meter freestyle, 1.5 kilometers. So you can think what their warm-up looked like. You don't want to go too crazy in your warm-up, but you also want to be ready so that when you hit the water, you're not shocked. You want to feel prepared. You want to be hitting that pace in warm-up and just feeling strong in the water. Not overdoing anything. You just want to find that rhythm and just stick to it.
You just want to glide through the water because it's all about efficiency in these races.
It really is. Yeah, lane 2 out really fast, 105.1, followed by lane 7, 105.37, and in lane 5, 107.04. Those are your top 3 at the 100 meters.
And we're coming into our 200-meter mark. Lane 7 and 2 are coming in first and second at the 200-meter mark.
Yeah, lane 7 touching in first, Adam, 2:19.88. Lane 2, 2:20.36. Don't forget about lane 5, 2:24.22. Looking very strong. Owen Carew from the Mount Pearl Marlins. Doing very well. And you know what? It feels like it's a pretty full house despite the weather outside.
It is quite full. The bleachers have a lot of parents in them, and there's a lot of swimmers on the bleachers too.
Yeah, with people here with poster boards, with messages, pictures. You know, it's great to see. For some people, if you're old enough and you're going off to university, this might be your last big race before going.
It really might be.
If you choose not to swim in the summer and just have a summer to yourself before really investing into a new swim program or just hanging up the goggles and calling that a career, this might be the last
This might be your last big meet, and that's all right. It's great to have things end because that's what makes things special.
Yep, it really is. You know, it's a really good race here between lanes 2 and 7. Jack Addison from Fast, and in 7, Will Franklin from the Kodiak Vikings. It looks like Franklin's going to get him at the turn, and he will. It is 3:35.12, followed by Addison, 3:35.89. I like this race, Adam. I like it, especially when it's not in the middle.
It is interesting when it's two guys on the outside because I can't imagine when they look over that they can see that they're right with someone else.
Yeah,
The
not
fog
exactly.
in your goggle builds up. The water's a little bit too splashy.
Yeah, not exactly an outside smoke because for that you got to be in the very outside lane, like the gutter lane, people call it often.
That is lanes 1 and 8 or 0 and 9 if you're in a different pool.
Yeah, 0 and 9 if you're in a 10 lane or an Olympic basin. We got those 10 lanes. But yeah, it's great. The Alplex pool is looking very nice when it's set up for long course touch pads on either end. You got all the lane lines in, the fresh paint job as well, the white walls.
I
Notice how they're not
did
yellow
notice
anymore.
that when I got in here. I haven't been in here in, I want to say 2-3 months, and it looks really bright in here. It used to look a little dingy. Now it's bright, it's welcoming, and it's a great place to race.
Great place to race, great place to get some best times, and that's what these boys are looking to do. And it's still Franklin, lane 7. It's going to be in the lead at 450.85 at the 400-meter mark, followed by Addison in lane 2 at a 451.45. Strong, Adam. Coming in under 5 minutes at the 400-meter mark and 800 free for these boys.
Is very,
That's
very
something.
quick.
The oldest boys in the heat, but that doesn't mean anything because it can be anybody's race as we've seen in the previous heats.
You also never know how long some of these swimmers have been swimming. I started swimming when I was 12. Some people I know have started swimming since they were 8, 9. That
Yeah.
is a large difference.
So again, yeah, experience, comfort in the pool, racing nerves, that all has something to do with. And again, sometimes it's just not your day.
Sometimes it is not your day. You could be sick. You could be injured. Injuries have plagued some swimmers
Yeah.
very badly this year.
Sometimes it's tough. Everybody's at different points, so you got to respect that and understand where people are coming from. Some people are rebuilding, different goals.
Some
different
people aren't
mindsets.
even racing for this meet. They're racing for a meet coming up,
Yep.
or they're peaking before this meet. We don't know.
Yeah, no idea. Some people might use this rehearsal, or this might be the big meet. But look,
Oh,
Jack Addison making a comeback here, and he's still touching second, just behind Franklin. Flipping at a 6:07.37, and Addison 6:07.54. I'm starting on my words because I'm so excited, Adam. Like, to be this close in an 800 free is really something.
it's really something, especially when you're across the pool from one another.
Yeah. So a long event, you don't often see this, but you know what? At AUS, we had 2 swim-offs, and they weren't even in the 50s or the 100s. They were in the 200-meter events.
And
200
I
meter
actually
butterfly.
believe a 200-meter breaststroker here swam a swim-off.
I did.
Who is that, Gregor?
That would be me, Adam.
That was a very impressive race. You really smoked that boy.
Before the race, I was talking to a buddy from Memorial saying, imagine having to swim a 200 meters race again as a joke. I said, I would just flip a coin at that point. And little did I know that when I was talking to Lance after the race, I had a teammate right after me and say, you're in a swim off. So I immediately went to the warm down pool, started warming down, and then did another 200 meter breaststroke that day, improved my time.
And here's the thing. You didn't flip a coin. You went out there and took that victory.
I did. It was a great race. But you know what?
It was a beautiful race.
3 200s in one day.
Wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
So I won my way into the A final, and then after that, everything was gravy.
Yeah.
It's just points for the team, but I did what I had to do in the morning. These boys are doing a phenomenal job. It looks like lane 7 still edging out lane 2. Not sure how it's going to fare, though.
But lane 2 is sticking right there with him like glue. And we got our final length bells for both lanes 2 and 7.
Yeah,
And they're
100
both
meters to
picking up
go.
the
Both
pace.
flipping at 8:37, coming down to the tenths of a second. Excuse me, hundredths, Adam. 0.02 separates first and second with 100 meters to go.
And you can see both of these boys are picking up the pace, kicking a little harder, pulling a little faster.
Going to be a finish to remember, and these boys are putting on a show for everybody here at the Delplex. And if you're joining us at home, you're in for a good one. Jack Addison from Fast, lane 2. Will Franklin from CVAC in lane 7. Again, both looking to better their times as well.
And we're getting the bells for the other racers. And lanes 2 and 7 are coming back right now. I can't personally tell who's leading who, but they both look like they're incredibly close together.
Coming back very strong, Adam. And I don't know, it looks like lane 2 is picking it up with 5 meters to go. And it will be lane 2, Jack Addison from Fast, clocking it at a 9:45.02. Lane 7.
Lane 7.
Lane 7, sorry, Will Franklin, 9:45.02, followed by lane 2, Jack Addison, 9:45.49. Wow,
Just out touching him.
wow, great
That's
race.
the power of staying in the race and touching the wall with everything you got.
Huge best time for Jack Addison, and for Will, now he's got a long course time, so he doesn't have to be entered with that short course time anymore, which is great.
That is great.
So oftentimes when you see those short course times in a long course meet, you're thrown into the early heats.
Ah,
Or in this case, with the circle seating, you get thrown into the later heats as well because you got no time conversion. So how do they know what your real time is long course?
and we were wrong. The times on the boards were unofficial, of course.
So lane 2 did claim the first spot, 9:44.45, and lane 7, Will Franklin, touching in second at a 9:45.02.
Next up, we have women's 800 meter free. Oh, no. Women's 1500 meter freestyle.
Yay, 1500. So last 1500 of the weekend, Adam.
Really?
Yeah, and the results on the board are now official. For this final heat of 1500, we're only going to have 3 young ladies. We're going to pass the mic over to Madam Referee.
And in lane 3, we have Livy C. Ogilvy.
From Lexi C. Ogilvy from CVAC.
And lane 4, we have Alana Mercerer.
From Sackville Waves.
And in lane 5, we have Taylor Renouf.
From Blast Swim Club. So again, 3 girls in this heat, top 3. I'm honestly surprised they didn't combine with the next heat of 800 free, Adam.
I am too, but it is early in the meet, so
Yep.
you wouldn't want to combine too hastily. It's
True.
also it's 2 different events, right? It's 1500 and 800.
Yeah,
So the boys would have to stay in the water for the extra 700 meters.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. I know when I swam my 1500, we did 2 per lane, and each person wore a different colored cap so you could keep track of your laps.
2 per lane is always a little interesting because I've heard horror stories of some people not knowing that it's not circle swimming.
Yep.
So you get a head-on collision in the middle of the lane. And
Yeah.
that can really throw off your race.
And I guess you wouldn't know, Adam, because you've never done a 1500.
I've never done it, but I have watched it happen.
And something else, I think you might be able to confirm this, but it might be pretty specific to Ontario, is the Racer Chaser.
Racer Chaser, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was always a little hectic.
Racer Chaser, or cat and mouse, people will call it. So
Yeah.
what is that, Adam?
That is where you start both sides. So you have one person in the deep end, one person in the shallow end. After the person's coming in for the last 50 or 25 meters, depending on if it's a long course or short course, the person dives in when the person is about halfway there. So you can get the meet going slightly faster. But the problem comes in when the person who's finishing off the race starts dying off and the timers don't time it well. You can actually get people to catch the other person, which is terrible for both swimmers.
Yeah, you often see that in 200 butterfly.
That is
As we
true.
were talking about before, that's one of those events where if you go too strong, you better say your prayers because that is going to be one painful back
Butter
half.
dies coming for you.
Butter die is coming for you, yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen that in any meets other than meets held in Ontario.
I don't know if these meets just aren't as big because I remember in Ontario we'd have sometimes 40 heats total
Wow.
of 200 free, and that's excessive. That's almost an
Time-consuming, yeah.
hour of solid 200 free.
Yep, absolutely.
So you kind of want to get it sped up a little bit, especially when it's just prelims. I don't think they would ever think about doing that in finals, but prelims definitely want to speed those up a little bit because sometimes I remember those would be, I don't know, you'd be at the pool from about 8 to 2,
Yeah.
which is
something
it's a
along
long day, and then coming in for finals takes a lot out of you.
Yep, swimming most of my life in Quebec. I know when we were age group, we would often separate it boys and girls. Boys would go in the shallow end, girls would go in the deep end. And yes, it's great that the sessions are shorter, but you also have less time between your own races. Because sometimes you could account for all the women's heats being before, then you have the women's heat to warm down or eat a snack or
Yeah.
get some water. But if it's just guys, you really
It
it's a
does
very fast
throw
turnaround.
a different dynamic in because yeah, you're right. You do always be like, okay, I'm the next event, but you also know that there's the women's heat
Yep.
next. So you have you have about 20, 30 minutes to wait and to get
Exactly.
ready. And if you don't have that, that's not good.
All right, the air we have been quiet for quite some time, and we do apologize. We're trying to think of what we can give you guys on this fine evening, Thursday from Dalplex, as we await the snow. And what better way to do that than to tell some jokes, right, Adam?
Yes, Gregor, knock knock.
Who's there, Adam?
Tank,
Tank who?
you're welcome.
Oh my gosh. All right, Adam, I got another good one. Actually, it might not be as good as that. What did one wall say to the other wall?
I don't know what.
Meet you at the corner.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Knock, knock, Gregor.
Who's there, Adam?
Luke.
Luke who?
Luke. I found a better joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Figs.
Fix?
Figs the doorbell. It's not working.
Oh, yeah, that's how you keep knocking.
That's quite a knee slapper, guys. Quite a knee slapper.
Can't take these Adam jokes anymore, so we're gonna turn our attention to the pool again. And you know, three girls, all doing a very good job, looking strong in their stroke. Adam, you were commenting on the techniques before. What can you say about these techniques here?
You can see in lane 5, she has very high elbows. Well, lane 4, a little bit closer to the water.
Yeah. So again, whatever works really.
It is whatever works. I also know that it's very hard to train out anything your coach doesn't like because muscle memory is something that really sticks with you. And if you've been training one way for your whole life, it's hard to switch.
Yeah, you got to do something for a good 3-4 weeks before it actually becomes routine for that muscle memory. I know I had problems with my breathing pattern. I would lift my whole head out of the water, and obviously that isn't very effective.
That is not very efficient.
So having to change that, have one eye in the water, one eye out of the water was a big change, but you know, very helpful in my stroke, very helpful. It was making me swim faster. I use less energy, and it looks better too.
It does look better.
Not that it's all about looks, but
Some of it is about flash.
yep. So
Sometimes you're watching some swimming and you're like, man, that person has a beautiful stroke. And that's what's really important. And these girls are still swimming strong. It looks like lane 4 is catching up slightly on lane 5. Really good swimming, girls.
All the banners posted on the opposing side behind the Trojans bench, those AUS banners from the Dalhousie swim team. There's 2 more that are going to be hung up pretty soon, Adam. Dalhousie Tigers won AUS this past year in St. John's 3 weeks ago on the men's and on the women's side. Men's, that's 22 of the past 23 years. And the women's, it's a crazy streak as well.
That is a crazy streak to have. That is longer than I've been alive personally.
Yeah, same here. And you know, it's impressive. That's a dynasty at that point. And Lance does a phenomenal job
He's a dynasty.
prepping his athletes to do their very best at that meet.
He does do a great job. He is a great coach. If you're thinking about university and you want to swim, Dalhousie University,
Yep.
great school to go to.
Send
I
Lance an
personally
email.
love the team. The team atmosphere is amazing.
Team's great, great academics as well. Fantastic city, still by the ocean. And again, you get to train here at the Dalplex, as you can see on the stream. It's a phenomenal complex, great pool. One of the best spots in Atlantic Canada, really, Adam. This is a brutal day for the swimmers, Adam. I'm looking at it. After this, we have the 800 freestyle relay. So every swimmer has to do a 200-meter freestyle.
Every swimmer does have to do a 200-meter freestyle, and they might have even swam the 15 or the 8 already, which is a
Yeah.
long day of swimming. I don't think most of my mates even made it to 800 meters total.
Long first day. You know, if I were them, I'd go home, have a nice, hearty dinner, sit
Take a
down,
good sleep.
relax. Yeah, maybe even an ice bath.
Ice baths are good for inflammation of the muscles.
Yep, trying to bring down that swelling, trying to get back into tip-top shape for tomorrow's prelims.
Tomorrow's prelims should be very exciting.
Yeah.
Gregor, what events are happening tomorrow? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I do not know, but I do know it won't be the 15, the 800, or the 4x200 medley relay.
That does narrow it down. Thank you, Gregor.
Um, if you are looking to find out, though, you can Google the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships. You should be able to see that. Or if you have the Meet Mobile app on your mobile device, you can go on there, hit the Friday prelims, and you'll be able to check what's going on. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, Adam, but in the corner by the Dow Tigers records board, we see some swimmers on their back with their legs up.
That
Could you explain
is
that?
great because what you're trying to do is trying to get the blood circulating through your whole body and not let the lactic acid build up in your legs.
Yep.
Because that can really kill a race when your legs just stop working.
Yep.
Because too much lactic acid is built up.
Yeah, so in warm-up, you always want to do some fast swimming because you do want to have some lactic acid in your muscles,
Yeah.
but you don't want to have too much. So those swimmers down there are doing just that. They got it in their muscles, but they warmed up over an hour ago.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they've done a dynamic warm-up, whether that consists of some skipping, jumping jacks,
Keeping the blood
push-ups.
flowing,
Yeah, you
yep.
just want to keep the blood flowing and stay loose before what I'm guessing is their 4x200 relay,
Yes.
the 800-meter freestyle relay.
So you really want to try and keep the lactic acid moving, and you don't want it to sit in your legs because your legs are the powerhouses of your body.
Yep. And that could be just dead weight in the water if you're not swimming properly.
Dead weight in the water is not a good thing.
Not at all, especially when you're swimming for a team, for the greater good.
Group chat.
Adam, you'd be surprised. What do you think the first stroke was? Of the 4 strokes, there's butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. What do you think the first stroke
I
was?
think backstroke was the first stroke. Because you're asking this question, it sounds like a trick question because the logical answer would be freestyle. But then I think it's backstroke because it's probably the more safe stroke if you don't know how to swim.
You're actually wrong. It is breaststroke. Breaststroke,
Breaststroke's the first stroke.
one of the first strokes. Yep. Or is the first stroke, excuse me.
Gregor, I got a new joke for you.
I'm all ears, Adam.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cow says?
How says who?
No, a cow says moo. And that's your Race Elite knock-knock joke with Adam Bauma, everybody.
Okay.
And we're hearing the bells. That's a great sound to hear while you're swimming.
Yeah, bell going off for lane 4. Alana Mercier from Sackville Waves.
Alana Mercier from Sackville Waves Aquatic Team is in first place.
Alana Mercier putting together a great race, Adam. Looking to better her time, her short course time. So not sure if she's going to better her short course time, but at least clock in a long course time.
Clocking a long course time is always good. I always wanted to have at least one of each,
Yep.
except for the 1500, of course. But you want to have the long course and the short course to kind of know where you're at. I used to actually be better long course.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because my walls are atrocious.
Yep, so we're going to see how close Alana Mercier can get to her short course time of 1930.97.
1930.97. Let's see how that plays out. What time is it right now, Gregor?
Right now it's 19:20, and she's got about 25 meters to go.
She's going to be relatively close.
That's a really good conversion, especially for such a long event, Adam.
That
That's
is a
great.
crazy conversion for such a long event. This is the longest event. Those conversions are normally much, much longer.
Yeah, longest event for the actual indoor pool swimming. But then if you go to open water, that's where it gets a little interesting, Adam.
And she's touching it with a time of unofficially.
Yeah, 1942.05.
That is exceptional. That is only a 1-2 time fast. 12 seconds.
Yeah,
12,
1-2.
not 1-2.
You got the numbers right, Adam. 1-2.
Thank you. 12-second increase from a short course time. That's incredible.
Yeah. So you know now, open water swimming is actually picking up quite a bit in Canada, Adam.
Is it?
Yeah, you're going to start seeing like the 3K, 5K, 10K, and a lot of them actually run camps as well to try and have these junior programs. Because you think about it, you're already swimming, so why not do longer events for these people who excel so much? You can put them out in open water and they can do very well.
They can do exceptionally well.
Yep.
You don't need many walls. I've always wanted to try
Yep.
some outdoor swimming. I've done some in ponds, not races, of course,
Yep.
but it's definitely a different beast.
Yep.
It
Well-
also highly depends on if you're swimming in the ocean or in lakes,
Yeah, the current. Yeah,
because
has a
currents,
huge
tides,
thing.
waves. Also, you cannot swallow salt water. You'll
No.
throw up.
Yeah. When I trained at Point Claire at home, Adam, when we were training Olympian Steph Horner for trials,
Okay.
we didn't have access to go outside all that much in the winter.
Yeah.
So we had our 10 by 50 meter pool, and we would set buoys up in the corner, and we would swim in big circles
Really?
in the pool. And
That's
Steph would start at the back of the pack, and after every lap, she'd have to move up a certain amount of spots.
Okay.
And we'd have people pacing for her. So our coach would give us pace times. We'd have to stick there, and she'd be with us, and she'd have to move up pace time by pace time after every certain laps.
So how would you guys switch people in and out, or how would that work? Because I
So
can't
everyone
imagine
would
they'd
just
be able to
keep
keep
swimming.
up Olympic pace times.
So we weren't able to. Everybody would take turns. So you do like 2 or 3 laps, take a break, and we get some fresh legs in there
Yeah.
so that she could have some proper pacing. But it was a lot of fun. That's been my sole exposure to open water swimming. Similar to you, I haven't had many opportunities
We're not
to
much
do that.
distance swimmers. No.
Yeah, like we said before, this 1500 meter freestyle,
Daunting
not
for
our
us.
cup of tea.
No.
Nope. Lance is not writing distance sets for us. Instead, he's writing stroke specific sets.
Stroke specific sets is all we need.
Yep.
Mind
Lane
you,
5.
supplementing your sprints with distance is actually very good for you because then you can hold on a little bit longer in those sprints.
Yeah, build that cardio. And I was just about to say, Adam, lane 5, Taylor Renew from Blast. She's putting together a great second half of the race, not letting go, and she's really been relentless.
That's what
It's
you
great
want to
to see.
hear. She's coming in for the last 10 meters of this race. She's looking strong, still got strong stroke, and she's still kicking, and that's what you want to hear. Last 5 meters, Gregor, what you coming in with?
She's looking good, Adam, and she's going to touch with a time of 22:39.45.
That is also a first long distance race, and that's also very close to her short course race.
Great swim.
And finally, also coming in very strong kick, strong
12-year-old
coke.
Lexi Ogilvy from CVAC. Again, great race. 12 years old, 1500 meter freestyle. Couldn't even imagine doing that.
I think I just started swimming at 12 years old. I would not be able to swim over 200 meters.
That's what you previously said, and she did a great job. 23:15.51. That's going to conclude the 1500 freestyles for this meet. So, Adam, you know what that means. We got one more heat.
We got the 800 freestyle heat 8.
Yeah, 6:05. So, you know what? We actually made up some time here.
We made it
Because
because
we are
of those
early.
fast swims.
Yep. And we're going to turn our attention to Madam Referee. Yep.
And in lane 3, we have Noah Josh Berger.
From the Crusaders,
In lane 4, we have Luke Ostrich.
from Bluefins,
In lane 5, Luke C. Addison.
from Fast.
And
Luke Addison, brother of Jack Addison,
I don't
potentially?
know. I
Older
would
brother
also
or
like to
younger
point
brother?
out, lane 3, we have a 10-year-old swimming the 800 meter freestyle. That is super commendable.
Yeah, because you think about it, Adam, for the men's, for an Eastern's cut, you got to be 14 years old to have it. Like, that's where it only starts. So if he can get a good base in this 800 meter freestyle, he's got 4 years to work up some pretty crazy times.
Crazy times. And guys don't even peak until they're around 18, 20,
Yeah,
till they're much older. So he's got literally a decade of swimming until he peaks.
yeah. So trying to near that time of 9:22.98 for the 14s. Again, all these boys too young. Is that it? Am I able to say that for the Eastern's cut?
They're too young, but they're putting down some great times for their time. And they all have short course times. So this is the first big experience with long course distance.
Yeah. So again, it's going to be great to see this. And again, I'm sure they're grateful for the opportunity. Maybe not now that they're swimming it, but after they're going to look back and say, hey, coach,
I'm done.
I'm done. Thanks for putting me in that event.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to do it for a year.
And you always feel great after you're done a race. No
Oh,
matter
yeah.
how hard it hurts, when you touch that wall, it's such a great feeling.
And, you know, oftentimes for young athletes who don't have the most experience, if you have a bad race, you just gotta think about it like this. The race is done. I can't change anything.
Can't change
So
anything.
why keep lamenting the fact that it's done? I gotta turn the page and focus on my new one. Let me
Yep.
be my best self, hydrate, warm up, and prep myself
For tomorrow or for the relay.
for tomorrow or for the relay. And I'm not saying that any of these boys have had bad races or these young women.
No.
Everybody's had phenomenal races, but you know, if it's not exactly what you hope for,
There's always tomorrow.
there's always tomorrow, and you prep yourself. Swimming's like that, and fortunately, we have tons of opportunities in one race weekend.
Yeah.
You're not just here to swim one race. You're here to
And-
swim 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however
7.
many you're entered in. You have that many chances to better that time.
Yeah.
So it's
And
really, really
It's
great.
just the start of the meet. You have lots of time to do better in other races. And all of these people are so far that I'm seeing are throwing down incredible times. They
Yep.
should all be very proud of themselves.
Doing great, getting the nerves out the first event, trying to set the tone and really
get used to it. For some people, maybe it's their first time swimming at the Dalplex. So how we said the home pool advantage, for other people, they got to get used to to different pools. Like you and Acadia, you guys don't have the best track record.
No, I did not do good at Acadia.
So for some people here, getting the jitters out on the first day, if it's not your best event, that's great. So you
Learning
can,
the walls, learning
the
literally
flags,
everything in the pool.
Yeah.
Because you can also use markers on the bottom of the pool to know how many more strokes you have into the wall, not just the flags.
Familiarizing yourself with the washrooms, the locker rooms, you name it, the water fountains. It's really all that sort of stuff, and you really want to soak it in. I know when the team traveled to Victoria, we traveled 3 days early to get accustomed to the time change and to the change of scenery as well.
And you also, sitting on a plane all day is very hard on the muscles.
It really is, yeah. A long travel day flying to Toronto, and then Toronto to Vancouver, then taking the ferry from Vancouver to Victoria isn't the most comfortable of adventures.
And also, I know here in Halifax, we're right on the water. But if you were in a place that's higher in the water and you're going lower, it's going to be different. And if you're, especially, you want to be careful. If you're going from sea level to a much higher elevation, you really want to get acclimated.
Yeah.
I know that there have been many athletes who
Juniors, when they were in Calgary, that was a big adjustment to
Yeah.
make for athletes.
It's
all across
very
Canada.
hard. The people who already live there are going to have a huge advantage because they're used to that elevation.
Yep, absolutely.
Cardio Kane certainly learned his lesson.
Yeah.
He's gonna text me again. Thanks for the shout out, man.
And just a quick heads up, guys, it's time for your knock knock joke. Knock knock, Gregor.
Who's there?
Hawaii.
Hawaii who?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, that was corny, Adam.
Thank you.
Get those
That's
jokes
what I
out
try
now.
and be.
Get those jokes out now, because when we turn our attention to the 800 freestyle relay,
It's
that's
going to
really
be fast
something.
paced.
Coaches will figure it out. Do you want to lead off with your fastest swimmer? Do you want to close with your fastest swimmer? How do you do it? So we're going to see a lot. I feel like we're going to see a lot of lead changes for that 8 free relay.
It's going to be an exciting race.
Yep. Good closure to the first day of the David Fry East Coast Championships here at the Dalplex. And we can't wait to see what's in store for the rest of the weekend.
Weekend. And we got Noah Josh Berger coming in strong to the wall. Long, strong strokes. That's really good. Doing a couple dolphin kicks off the wall. Really great for a 10-year-old swimmer.
Yeah, Adam, lane 4 also swimming in Luke Ostrich from the Bluefins, 13 years old. He's going to flip in at a time of 6:20.22.
That's a good split.
Yeah. Everybody out here looking strong. I believe that's 400 meters in. So that's halfway through the race.
That is halfway through the race.
Yeah, so another 8 laps.
Another 8 laps. But for us, we'll only see them another 4 times.
Teammates lined up along the pool, cheering on the swimmers and their teammates. Because for some of them, they might have been sitting around since the start of the session. So for them, it's their time to shine. And who better to cheer you on than your teammates? You spend hours with these guys and girls.
They're quite literally your second teammate. Your second family.
Yep.
I was thinking about it once when I was younger that I see my coach more than I see my own parents.
Yep.
That really says something about that connection. It is a second family. And their support means everything to a swimmer.
It really does, yeah. When you think about it, age group swimming, sometimes you're looking at 9 practices a week, totaling 20-ish so hours in the water. That's excluding weight sessions or dry line sessions. So you're really dedicating a lot of your time,
With these
to
people.
swimming.
And sometimes you even go to school with these people. It's a lot of FaceTime with these people, and they are your family.
Yeah. So swimming, it's great, and it's one of those sports that's co-ed as well, Adam.
It is co-ed. It is a very different sport in that aspect.
So you don't have a guys-only team and a girls-only team. You're training together, and I honestly think that it's very beneficial for young athletes.
It definitely is. These are people you are going to be friends with for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Ostrich.
100 meters to go for lane 4. Luke Ostrich from Bluefins doing a fantastic job from Charlottetown, Adam. So that's another big travel.
Really?
PEI.
Charlottetown is very far.
So you're looking like 3, maybe 4-hour drive.
That's a longer drive than I had for most of my competitions back home.
Yep. So he's swimming it out, and he's doing a great job with 100 meters to go. He's your heat leader, and he's looking to clock in an official time. And now we're hearing the bell for lane 5.
Luke Addison
From Fast. Again, all looking to record some long course times.
and their long course times are going to be pretty close to their short course times, which is really, really what you'd like to see. And we got
Noah Josh Berger.
Luke Ostrich
Excuse me,
coming in first with a time of
10:16.24. Oh, sorry, 10:13.61. As you can see, the times are unofficial until the meet manager says
that
it's official.
is a fantastic time.
I just
That
got
is
played by
faster
the
than
board,
his
Adam.
short course times.
And now Noah's hearing the bell there in lane 3.
He has 100 meters left, and he's picking up the pace. You can see him kicking harder, stroking. He's still got a beautiful stroke on him, especially for a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
He is killing it.
So he's 700 meters in, and he's definitely feeling that in his shoulders, his traps, his lats, you name it, he's feeling it, Adam.
And second place for this heat, we have Luke Addison coming in.
Yeah, 10:59.52. So
10:59.2.
cracking that 11-minute barrier. Great job.
That is really good. That's also faster than his short course time. That's a fantastic thing. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. Again, Luke under his short course time as well.
These are both fantastic times, and I'm sure Noah Josh Berger is going to have a fantastic time. He is swimming his heart out over there on the shallow end.
Yeah, we're able to see him in, he's picking up the pace. His legs are getting involved now, Adam. You see he's kicking strong. This might be his last event of the night, not knowing if the Crusaders are going to put together a 4x200 meter relay for him.
He's almost at the 25-meter mark, still coming in strong. Strong arms, strong feet, just kicking. You can see him pick up his pace there.
Absolutely, Adam. Yeah, with 20 meters to go, he's looking very good.
Coming in.
And after Noah touches, we are going to take a 30-minute break before the relays, and then we will be back to you providing the live action from the Dowplex here in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
And that'll be the 800-meter freestyle relays.
With 2 meters to go, Noah Josh is going to touch in with a time of 12:11.01. Again, bettering that short course time. So
That is fantastic, Gregor.
great first 2 events, Adam, and we're going to join back with you in 30 minutes.
We'll see you then. And just a quick heads up, guys, the races will be starting in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we're going to be starting the relays.
Welcome back to the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships. We are just about to get underway with the 800 freestyle relay, starting with Heat 1 of the women's. We're going to have two teams in this event, and we are going to turn the mic to Madam Referee. And they are off. In lane 4, leading off, Eliza Stokesbury Price.
From Wolfville.
And in lane 5, Elena LeClaire.
From Mount Pearl. Oh, from Bluefins.
And that's going to be it for our Heat 1. So it's swim-off style here, Adam. Just two teams.
Just two teams
Gonna be
for a
great race.
relay.
Yep. So every swimmer's going to have to do 4 laps of the pool, being 200 meters. 4 times 200, 800.
800 meters.
Yep.
That's all we got.
Eliza Stokesbury Price. That's a familiar name for us, Adam.
We love swimming against Bo Stokesbury Price, not only because he's fast, but because his name sounds so awesome.
Yeah, swims for Acadia. Great freestyler there as well. So we're going to see if Eliza can take after her brother and put together a great 200 freestyle here. And right now, Elena LeClaire from the Bluefins taking it out very strong. She's going to be swimming into the wall. She's going to have a great split.
Body length ahead of Bo Stokesbury, or it's Elise Stokesbury Price.
Eliza.
Oh boy.
Elena is going to be splitting a 104.55, whereas Eliza splits a 108.38. So again, here for the relay takeovers, Adam, there's multiple ways to do it. You can have the wedge all the way at the back.
All the way at the front.
All
Use
the way
that
at
as
the
a little
front.
bit of a push off well with your front foot.
Yeah, a little leverage. It's, again, personal preference.
Personal preference is
People
everything
want to
in
do
swimming.
one step. If you're going to do the step over the wedge,
True.
which is more common in the U.S. for the yards,
Yeah.
especially try and gain some momentum. Or if you just do from a flat start, like a normal start,
Some
you take
people
no
do
steps
that.
and you just,
Sender.
yep, send it off and streamline. But here we have a great showdown between the Wolfville Tritons and the Charlottetown Bluefins. Elena LeClaire, 16 years old, giving her team a big lead. Looking to pass on the torch to Charlotte Otway, who's currently on the blocks in that purple suit with the orange cap. Lane 4, Eliza Stokesbury Price is swimming in for teammate Maggie Graves.
And they're touching it at a time of?
2:12.90 in lane 5.
That
And
is a great split.
Lane 4 is going to be splitting a 2:22.44. Now Maggie Graves in the water for the Wolfville Tritons. So Adam, here there actually are cuts for the relay, but you're only going to see the 800. You're only, going to see 800 relay cuts in the CJC relay cut. So for juniors, women's 800 freestyle cut, you're looking at a 9:00 flat.
That is
Very
a
fast.
quick time.
Very,
Every
very
person
fast.
in the team would have to cut what, like a 2:10, 2:15? Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me, I think that is wrong.
No, 2:15's right.
4:30. Oh, yep.
2:15's right.
Yep,
You'd need to
2:15.
be slightly under that, but that is a fast time.
Right here, Maggie Graves gaining on Charlotte Otway. Charlotte Otway, 13 years old, up against 17-year-old Maggie Graves. Both looking to just put their best foot forward for their team.
And we can see right now with the Wolfville Tritons, they're actually catching up a little bit on the Dolphins.
Yeah, Bluefins flipping at a 3:28.29, whereas the Tritons are flipping at a 3:29.63.
That is a great split. Awesome.
Again, if you have any shout-outs, birthdays you want to mention, give us a buzz. You can reach out to me, Gregor DeVoe, on Instagram. Scott, watching from Newfoundland, cheering on daughter Anna. Already reaching out, which we love that. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for keeping us on our toes. It makes our job more fun, having people interact
Human
with us.
interaction is great. They do have us up here away from everyone, which sucks, but I do have my great co-host, Gregor.
Yep, so both those teams are going to be touching at a 4:46. Lane 5 is going to be edging out lane 4 by 4/10ths, Adam.
That is not much.
No, and right now in the water for Wolfville in lane 4 is Chloe Bishop, and in lane 5 for the Charlottetown Bluefins is Sophie Corrigan.
And guess what time it is, Gregor?
What time is it, Adam?
It's a knock o'clock. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Stopwatch.
Stopwatch who?
Stop what you're doing and let me in.
Stop what you're doing and tune into the live streams, what everybody should be doing.
That's what everyone should be telling all of their family members. Let's cheer on your nieces, your nephews. Get all their aunts and uncles in watching. Let's really support these swimmers.
Yeah, right now you can feel it's a little quiet, but I'm sure come the last heat, Adam,
It's going to
last
get a
heat of the
little
men's
loud.
final, you're going to feel it be electric in here. It's going to be great. See swimmers behind the blocks oftentimes huddle with their teams, a little pep talk beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to say, like, everybody just do your job. Clean takeovers and just leave it all in there. It's everybody's last race of the
Last race of the night.
last race of the night. You're going to go home, have a great sleep. But before that, we're going to
Gotta
stay
leave it in
here,
the
and we're
pool.
locked in. Lane 5 flipping at a 5:56.27. Lane 4, 5:58.07.
And Sophie Kerrigan is pulling away slightly
Yep.
from Chloe Bishop, but not too much.
Still both solid
It's still
splits out of
anybody's race.
Yep. So this is the third leg. So right now they're going on. They just finished 500 meters, going on 550. Then they'll come back for 600.
For 600, then we got our last two swimmers in the water
Yeah,
for
anchors.
this heat.
People call them anchors, or referred to as the bomb. To finish off the relay.
Bomb sounds a lot cooler
It does.
than
Yep.
anchor.
Oftentimes the fastest person on the relay team will go last
That is true.
to bring it home. But again, totally up to the coaches how we see if they want to try and go out super
And
fast, get a lead,
sometimes-
and then just hold on.
You can actually put your fastest person first so that they can get an official time if they're going for
Oh,
a time.
That's a great point. Yep. So it's like that in the medley relay as well. So the backstroke leadoff time is official.
So you can get that and use that to get to your CJCs, anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that would be an official time that would pop up on your swim rankings profile. And yeah, that could be used to get a cut. But here it is, lane 5, Sophie Corrigan swimming in for teammate Holly Nickerson of the Bluefins. Lane 4, Chloe Bishop swimming in for Olivia Williams to anchor it home for the Wolfville Tritons.
And Gregor, what time are those people touching in
So
at?
lane 4, I missed lane 5 times, sorry. Lane 4 is touching at a 7:17:38.
That is a very good time. These swimmers are really giving it their all. It's always very, very fun swimming in a relay because it's not about you, it's about the team, and it's a very different vibe swimming in a relay. It's a lot more atmospheric, if that makes sense.
Especially for this team, because the winning team is going to go home with one of those nice shiny trophies on the
Those
on the
trophies
batting board.
are very nice.
And oftentimes relays are double points. So
Yes, they are. Do we know if relays are double points for this meet or no?
I'm not entirely sure, but I would assume that they're more than just an individual win.
That would make sense.
So it's great. And again, swim off style as well.
Always interesting.
Always
Makes it a
interesting.
lot
It's great
more
head
fun.
to head. Yeah. Lane 5 doing amazing. 8:16:59 with 100 meters to go. Followed by lane 4, the Tritons at an 8:25:65. Olivia Williams looking to keep her team in the mix.
And she is still powering through that water, swimming beautifully, Gregor.
Yep, so these teams are going to be ranked up against the next 8 teams in Heat 2. And, of course, all those events will be available on Meet Mobile soon after when the times are official. And then if you are joining us in person, those results will be posted in the hallway as you come to the bleachers. And that'll all be available to you. If you don't have Meet Mobile on your mobile device, you can just Google 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships. I'm Gregor alongside Adam, and we're going to be broadcasting
All weekend for you guys. Enjoyment.
And here it is. Lane 5, Holly Nickerson
coming in strong into that wall. She's got 10 meters left.
Very strong. Legs are kicking hard. Arms are spinning.
5 meters.
And she's going to touch in at a time of 9:27.94.
That
Fantastic
is
time for
a
her team.
faster time than what they previously had. And coming in second for this heat will be the
Olivia
Wolfville
Williams for the
Tritons.
Wolfville Tritons, touching in at a time of 9:42.01.
That is a great time. Good job, ladies.
Here it is. Next heat, Adam. We got a fully loaded heat.
This is a fully loaded heat.
We love fully
just
loaded
like those
heats.
nachos.
Just like fully loaded nachos. Lots of stuff going on here. We're going to try and get everybody's name in there, and I think we're going to have enough time because it's a 200. So
200 will give us plenty of time.
we're going to get through all the names, and then we're going to give our hot takes, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. You're starting to feel it. We're going to turn it over to Madam Referee. It is loud in here, folks.
It is getting louder.
Oh, the Vuvuzelas.
Horns.
The Vuvuzelas. Doing a watch check. And they're off. In lane 1, Kaylee Murrin.
From Mount Pearl.
In lane 2, Morgan Tuchka.
From Tide.
In lane 3, Allison Redfern.
From the Trojans.
In lane 4, Aideen McGrath.
Also from the Trojans.
In lane 5, Rachel Blackmore.
From the Crusaders.
In lane 6, Lindsay Goodland.
From Mount Pearl.
In lane 7, Emma Sinclair.
From Fast.
And in lane 8, Amelia Young.
From St. John's.
Wow, Adam, this is a packed heat.
It really is, Gregor. A full heat, full heat of racing. It could be interesting. We could see literally any team win this.
Yeah, ages all over the place. Oldest ones in the heat, Allison Redfern, Rachel Blackmore leading off, 17 years old. Lane 8 from St. John's, Amelia Young, only 13 years old. And it's going to be a good one, Adam, so don't count anybody out yet.
Definitely won't. And coming into the first wall, unofficially, we are seeing that the Crusaders are leading it off here. And we are having the typical V formation that you would normally see in a race.
Yeah, lane 5 flipping first at a 101.34, followed by lane 4 at a 103.18, and then in lane 6 a 105.93 is going to be the Mount Pearl Marlins flipping in third. Still anybody's race. That's halfway through the first leg, Adam.
A 101 is a great split for a 200.
That is very fast. Long course as well.
Very quick for long course.
Here they are at a final leg of the first part of the relay. And it's going very well. Lane 5 doing absolutely amazing. Rachel Blackmore from the Crusaders.
Coming in really strong, almost a body length ahead of the next team, which is the Trojans.
Yeah, Rachel Blackmore going to be swimming in for Cassidy Carroll. Aideen McGrath swimming in for teammate Julie Nolan McCarthy in lane 4. Lane 5 splitting a 209.23. Lane 4 splitting a 210.76.
Coming in third should be Mount Pearl.
Yeah, lane 6 flipping at a 218.06, excuse me. In lane 6, Emma Power. In lane 7, Sammy White. In lane 8, it's going to be Harlow LeBlanc. In lane 3, Maria McDougall. Lane 2, Bryn Leroy for Tide. And in lane 1 from the Mount Pearl Marlins, Maria Goodland. And lane 5 is going to get at the touch, or at the turn, excuse me, 3:12.93, followed lane 4, 3:13, lane 2, 3:22.45.
And that is the Trojans and Crusaders in first and second. And I honestly, right now, could not tell you who's in first or second. It's
Adam is
that close of a
quite
race.
literally on the edge of his seat.
I am standing on my seat right now.
Yeah, trying to see over the ledge and really try and make the most and try and tell you guys what's going on here in the Dalplex. It's warm. It's crazy.
It's muggy. It's exciting. There's a lot of screaming going on. It's great.
Teammates are having fun. Timers are getting invested. Here they are, Adam. Look at that duel. Lane 4 is taking it right now. Lane 4 is going to be taking it. Lane 4, Julie Nolan McCarthy swimming in for Charlotte Evans. Lane 5, Cassidy Carroll swimming in for teammate Sophia Dean. Oh, 5's got it the touch, 4:25.25. Lane 4, 4:25.31.
Literally milliseconds of difference
In lane
there.
2, Francisca Roth diving in. In lane 3, it's going to be Katarina Brezovan diving in. This is crazy, Adam. In lane 7, or excuse me, lane 6 is going to be Ellie Stafford that's going to be jumping in for the third leg of the race. Lane 7, Abigail Lamontagne from fast. Lane 8, it's going to be Kiara Higdon. And in lane 1, jumping in right now is Marie Shepard. Wow, Adam.
This is an exciting race. This is why I love relays. Anything can happen. There's a lot of switch-ups with swimming. And swimming, that generally doesn't happen with individual races. You don't see this much variation in the race,
Yep.
except for IM. But just a pure freestyle race, you don't see this much variation. It's very fun to watch.
And you know, like, one fast takeover, that can just ruin it.
It can change the
So
race
you gotta
completely.
you have to have some clean takeovers. You gotta execute your part properly. Swim your heart out.
Not
and honestly,
gas out.
Just cheer as loud as you can once
Yeah.
you're done.
Oh, yeah. Cheer for your team and for the
Lane
other teams
4,
in the water.
5:29.48. Lane 5, 5:30.17. Sorry for cutting you off, Adam, but I gotta document this. This is really close. Lane 2 is gonna be flipping third at a 5:42.50. As Adam and I stand up, we can't sit down anymore. I'm shaking.
I am quite literally shaking in my sandals.
Yep, it's great.
These girls are giving it their all. They're swimming fast. They're doing everything they can to win.
Knowing from any of them that their meet should get lighter after this day, getting the 1500 or the 800 out of the
Getting
way.
the first day, especially when the first day is a distance day, is always a good thing. But that first day is a rough day. It's long,
Absolutely.
but it's
yeah.
rewarding.
Yeah, and look at this, Adam. Lane 4 doing a fantastic job. Charlotte Evans from the Halifax Trojans going to be swimming in for Clara Durling, 15 years old. She's going to be anchoring this relay. Lane 5, Sophia Dean from the Crusaders swimming in for Catherine Dawson, 17 years old. Catherine, I feel, has some experience. This is going to be interesting.
This will be interesting. And here you can see the variation in stroke in lanes 4 and 5. One is doing a straight arm and one is doing more of a bent arm.
Absolutely.
free.
Lane 2, Jordan Leroy diving in. Lane 3 is going to be Isabel McBride. Lane 6 is going to be Abby Andrews from the Mount Pro Marlins. Lane 7, Sarah McNabb. I mean, toss up for third, like.
Toss up for third, toss up for first and second. We never know.
Absolutely, yep. And in lane 1, swimming in right now, Marie Shepard from the Mount Pro Marlins going to be swimming in for Ella Duffett. Wow, and right now Clara Durling is holding off Catherine Dawson, but that's only halfway
Doing
through,
a
Adam.
great job. But you never know. They still got 100 more meters. They could die out. They could keep it strong. This is the excitement of a relay. You don't know how
in
this
lane
is going
8,
to go.
Ariana Higdon hopping in. In lane 4, splitting a 7:45.17. Clara Durling, lane 5, not far behind, 7:47.13. Catherine Dawson. Look at this, Adam. Lane 2, really picking it up, trying to gain her lead on lanes 3 and 6 is Jordan Leroy from Tide. She's going to split an 8:02.25, followed closely by lane 3, 8:05.50, and in lane 6, 8:06.40. I mean, it's a toss-up, Adam. I
It
have
really is.
no clue who's finishing first, who's finishing second,
Who's
and
finishing
third, even this.
Fourth, fifth, both a toss-up. Everything's a toss-up right now. It's such a great race.
Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this 4x200 free.
I always love relays, and this relay is always very interesting to me because it's long still. Like most relays are a lot faster, quicker pace, but this one's still long, but it's also still very
You see
fast.
teammates cheering, and look, lane 5's taking over. Catherine Dawson taking the lead from Clara Durling. And she's
See
going to
what
look
I
to
mean?
close out. Catherine Dawson with 10 meters to go has the lead on lane 4. It's Clara Durling from the Trojans. Catherine Dawson looking to finish it and take first. And she's going to do just that, folks. 8:55.53, followed by Clara Durling from the Trojans. Lane 4 and 8:58.19. And for third place, Adam, I still have no idea. 10 meters to go, and it's lane 2's Jordan Leroy. 5 meters, she still got it about a body length on Isabel McBride, and it will be lane 2, 9:13.63. Jordan Leroy. Again, these times are unofficial. We will let
They
you know
are
when they're deemed
unofficial.
official by the starter and by the referee. But these are
That
all
was
just
some
times
fast
we're seeing.
racing, and we still have two teams still in the water, lanes 1 and lanes 8, which is St. John's League and Mount Pearl in lane 1. And they're coming in
That
strong
St. John's
from
team in lane
1.
8, young team, but they definitely have a bright future if they're able to hang in this race with these older
Very
ladies.
young team
Yeah.
in comparison to the other teams.
So, getting a little experience under their belt, that's great. It's going to boost their confidence, for the rest of the weekend.
It definitely is.
And it's just,
And we just had Mount Pearl come in with a time of
Mount Pearl swam in with a time of 9:54.61. Up there in lane 1, Orange Caps, Mount Pearl.
And next we have St. John's coming in lane 8. Just coming in strong.
Ariana Higdon still looking very strong on the last 10 meters of her 200 free.
Kicking strong. Just going in. Nice, strong, long strokes.
Yeah, with about 3 meters to go, Ariana Higdon from the St. John's Legends is going to touch, and she's going to go a 10:26.08. It appears that she lost her goggles as well, Adam.
Oh boy.
So
She was really killing
that's
it.
a big warrior swim right there.
That
That's a great
is.
swim.
That was awesome.
And now we're going to turn our attention to event 6, men's 800-meter freestyle relay, heat 1.
And the results on the board are official, everybody.
All right, Adam, heat 1. We're going to have 5 teams in this heat.
Madam Referee.
And they're off. In lane 2, Luke Ostrich.
Bluefins.
In lane 3, Xander Chasson.
From Fast.
In lane 4, Liam Tweedy.
From Mount Pearl.
In lane 5, Raphael Tang.
From also the Bluefins.
And in lane 7, Ian Stewart.
From the Pictou County.
The Mount Pearl Marlins B team is being led off by Liam Tweedy. In lane 5 for the Charlottetown Bluefins, Raphael Tang.
Lane 7, Ian Stewart. Right now, this is as close as you're going to get to an outside smoke in this heat.
This is coming in strong.
But lane 4, Liam Tweedy, very strong. And he sees Ian Stewart. He's breathing that way, so he knows he's there. And he's going to try and,
Hopefully catch up.
yeah, well, I feel like he's planning his attack right here on the third 50.
And
Those
let's
boys,
not
great
forget about
splits.
the Bluefins in lane 5 coming in third unofficially right now.
Mm-hmm. So again, for the men's team, the CJC cut is an 8:10, which is ridiculously fast. That's about a 2:02, Adam, for each person.
That is incredibly fast. I don't think I had my sub 2 until I was 18.
Yeah, that's about, if you're thinking about it, like 2:02 for each. That'd be an 8:08.
That's incredibly quick.
Oh wow, look at this. Ian Stewart, like
Holding on to his lead,
holding on to his lead, and
And
I'd
honestly,
say making it bigger,
making it bigger.
Yeah.
He's really powering through that water.
growing his lead. Ian Stewart swimming in for Blaze Stevenson of the Pictou County Mariners in lane 7. They're going to split a 2:05.97. Great swim there from Ian Stewart. Lane 4,
And in lane 4,
Liam Tweedy swimming in for Joel Thomas from the Mount Pearl Marlins. Lane 5, Raphael Tang going to be swimming in for Tom Ban for the Bluefins. Up top, lane 2, Bluefins, Orange Caps. Luke Oster swimming in for Samuel Gaudet. And in lane 3, Xander Chason swimming in for Caleb Griffiths. I like what I'm seeing, Adam. It's looking very good. The energy in here is great. Morals are high. I'm hearing some cheers behind the blocks. I think that's gonna be for Heat 2. Just heard a Crusaders chant.
Crusaders, that's always a good team.
Yep, so Crusaders next heat are gonna be in lanes 2 and 8. So be sure to keep your eyes on them. But look at the Pictou County Mariners right here, Adam. Lane
They
7.
are making the distance between them and from first to second much larger right
Blaze
now. Let's see if they can
Stevenson.
hold that gap.
Blaze Stevenson swimming in for the first 50 of his first 100 of his 200, splitting a 3:07.27. Followed by lane 4, Mount Pearl Marlins, Joel Thomas at a 3:15.37.
And coming in third right now is Bluefins with
Tom,
Tom Ban.
he's going to be swimming a 3:23.14 with 100 meters to go.
That's pretty good.
I'm liking this right now, Adam.
This is a very interesting race.
Yeah, up top, lane 2, you're going to be seeing Samuel Gaudet, 14 years old, splitting a 3:35.16 for his team. Very strong. Followed closely, lane 3, Caleb Griffiths. Teammates telling him to start kicking his legs, and he's going to be doing just that on this third 50. He's going to be trying to strike and gain some territory. And Caleb's going to be splitting a 3:47.89.
And in lane 3, little heads up, all of these people are 12 years old, and they're racing against some people who are 17, 15.
Yep, Blaze being 17 years old. Excuse me. One of the older boys in this heat. Blaze Stevenson swimming in lane 7 for teammate Luke McLean. 14 years old. He's looking very confident on the block. Stevenson
Beautiful
splitting a
takeover.
4:17.66. Lane 4, Joel Thomas swimming in for Sam Goodland for the Mount Pearl Marlins. Mount Pearl splitting a 4:25.15. In lane 5, Tom Ban swimming in for Richard Lee for the Bluefins. 4:35.66. Wow. Richard Lee has a great stroke right now.
does.
He's going to be gaining some territory.
Strong and powerful. Not seeing a lot of kicks, but maybe he's saving that for the second 100.
Absolutely. Lane 2 diving in right now is Phoenix Lee for the Bluefins. 4:52.37.
I don't know if you can see this on the TV screen right now, but over in the corner, a team is cheering their hearts out.
I believe that's the Halifax Trojans.
A lot of team spirit in that team.
Lane 3 diving in right now, Luke Addison. 5:12.00.
It was a beautiful dive. Great kicks and great strokes from that kid over there.
Pictou County Mariners down here in lane 7 are going to be splitting a 5:21.67. But in lane 4, don't count him out, Mount Pearl Marlins, Sam Goodland trying to make a comeback and gain some territory for his team. In lane 5, from the Bluefins, Richard Lee. Still looking very strong. He's got a strong stroke rate, Adam. He's going to split a 5:41.72. Lane 2, from the Bluefins, splitting a 5:56.96. Phoenix Lee, again, 13 years old. Very impressive. Very impressive to see what these young men are able to do, Adam.
These guys are swimming their hearts out. And that's what you got to do in a relay at the end of the day. You got to leave it all in the pool.
Absolutely. Luke McLean has about 10 meters to go, and he's swimming in for teammate Nathan Keaton. 15 years old, anchoring for the Pictou County Mariners down here in lane 7. They're going to split a 6:32.65. Mount Pearl in lane 4. Phoenix Lee swimming in for teammate Avery Fleischauer. 13 years old. Oh, excuse me. Lane 4, Sam Goodland swimming in for teammate James Ryan. And in lane 5, splitting a 650.83 is going to be Andrew Shore. Just diving in.
Sorry, that's Sawyer.
Andrew Sawyer. Andrew Sawyer.
So they're not yelling at us.
In lane 2, Avery Fleischauer just hopping in. 13 years old, trying to close this relay out for his team.
He's swimming strong over there. You can see him kicking up some serious wake.
Again, if we are butchering anybody's names, or if you have any fun shoutouts, fun facts that you'd like to share with Adam and I to enlighten us, please
And
feel
for us to
free.
share.
And for us to share with the broadcast, please feel free to DM Gregor DeVoe on Instagram, and we will be sure to shut you out. Lane 7 spent a 740.00. Lane 4, Mount Pearl Marlin, 745.75. Lane 3 hopping in right now, Michael Chestikov. Excuse me, Michael Selichev.
On over in lane 2, touching in at a time of
817.20.
strong time. He's still swimming strong, powering through with his arms and legs.
Yeah, Avery
really trying to
Fleischauer.
finish off this last leg of the race.
Oh, wow, look at the Pictou County Mariners. They're being chased down by the Mount Pearl Marlins in lane 4.
And
Oh
we
my
can't forget
gosh.
about lane 3, Fast. They're also in this race. They're right behind. They
That is a
might be
good-
able to catch up.
Oh my gosh, Adam. I think Mount Pearl might have just taken the lead.
Mount Pearl might. He is really, he's about a body length ahead.
Yeah, with 5 meters to go, Mount Pearl's in the lead, and they're going to be swimming in, touching in at an unofficial time of 8:55.79. Lane 7, 8:58.06, Pictou County Mariners. And in lane 5, 9:01.80 from the Bluefins.
That was an interesting race. I didn't expect that. I won't lie to you, Gregor. They had such a large lead. But the thing with these relays is anything can change at any moment.
Again, Adam, it's a team race.
It is.
And we know some of these guys swam some great 800 freestyles
Yeah.
earlier this evening. So you can only imagine what their legs, shoulders are feeling like. And again,
Lots of lactic acid.
we haven't said
buildup.
this yet, but there's no warm down pool here.
I didn't even think about that. There isn't.
Since we're dealing with long course, we don't have the shallow end to warm down in. So
That's true.
these athletes are left to roll out and stretch on their own
Yeah.
and deal with the lactic acid on their own. Maybe you're going to go upstairs to the locker rooms, take a warm shower, sit in the sauna for a bit. If you do
But
that,
still not the same
Still
as
not
a
the
warm
same.
down pool.
and you're going to want to make sure that you're drinking a boatload of water so your muscles don't tense up.
And you can do what we were saying earlier by elevating your legs above your body. That helps with the lactic acid in your legs.
Yeah, trying to flush out those legs, even just trying to massage it out of your own system. I know for us at the university level, we have athletic trainers that travel with us. We can often get massaged out after races or before races to really try and flush our muscles of all those bad toxins that build up in there after long, hard races, such as these.
Very true.
1500, 800, even the shorter ones. Lane 3 rounding out the heat at a 10:21.59 from Fast. Great first heat of swimming here, and we're on to the final heat of the night.
Speaking of trainers, I just want to shout out trainer Emma, the real goat at Dalhousie Swimming.
Yeah, she is a key to many of our successes. She helps us so
She's
much.
helped me out with a number of injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we are, Adam. Last one, fast one.
Last one is always the fast one.
Madam Referee. And they're off. In lane 1, Christopher Nguyen.
From Halifax Trojans.
In lane 2, Oliver DeWood.
From the Crusaders.
In lane 3, Ryan O'Connell.
From Fast.
In lane 4, Chris Weeks.
From Mount Pearl.
In lane 5, Owen Nicholson.
Also from Halifax Trojans.
In lane 6, Ethan Kershaw.
From SWAT.
Lane 7, Aiden Carroll.
From St. John's.
And in lane 8, John Earl.
From Crusaders.
Adam, one name that already sticks out. Chris Weeks.
I've heard that name.
I've heard that name many times. I think we're going to have to keep our eye on him, especially for the butterfly events.
Does he specialize in the
butterfly?
Oh,
Max?
he specializes in butterfly, all right. At OJI's Ontario Junior International meet,
Okay, that's a big meet.
he was making A finals. I believe he took home the silver medal there.
That is incredibly
Don't quote me on that, but
impressive.
he's doing a great job here already.
Even making the A finals is something to be very, very proud of.
And you know, I believe this is going to be his last year with the Mount Pearl Marlins because he is looking to continue his swimming career at the university level. He's going to split a 56-88, followed by Owen Nicholson, lane 5, 57-63, and in lane 2 from the Crusaders, Oliver DeWood, 58-91. Owen Nicholson, oh my God, the voice crack there. Owen Nicholson trying to chase down Chris Weeks from Mount Pearl. I don't know if he'll have enough room to do this, but
He's keeping right there with him, which is something to be proud of. Chris Weeks is a fast swimmer.
yeah, Chris Weeks is going to be swimming in for teammate Darcy Butler. Owen Nicholson swimming in for teammate Keelan Bellis. In lane 7, Aiden Carroll swimming in for James Traverse. In lane 2, Oliver DeWood swimming for Alex Johnson Humble. Lane 3, Jonathan Seslachev, excuse me, I'm butchering that again. In lane 6, it's going to be Nicholas Matto. In lane 8, Luke Ellis. And in lane 1, it's going to be Charlie Leckie. That's going to be taking over the second leg of the race.
And I don't know if you saw that, Gregor, but with those relay takeovers, they're a big part of this game. And in lane 5, H-Tac, so Halifax Trojans, who were coming in second, actually went ahead of the Mount Pearl team just by the relay takeover, and now they're still ahead.
Yeah, we see
It's
this right
something
now.
that's crazy to see.
Keelan Bellis, your gold medalist at the Canada Summer Games in the 50-meter breaststroke, did a fantastic job. So we're going to see how they can translate here to a 200-meter freestyle.
Yeah.
He's going to split at 2:56.59, followed by Mount Pearl Darcy Butler, 2:57.47. Still anyone's race on him, no idea.
Still very much is. As we've
Third
seen
place
with
right
every
now.
single one of these relays,
Yeah.
it can change in an instant.
Absolutely, third place right now, lane 7, 3:05.08 from the St. John's Legends.
Everyone here is doing very well so far at this meet.
Absolutely.
Everyone should be very proud.
Again, shout out to all the coaches, trainers, physiotherapists, strength coaches out there for helping
Something
us.
crazy that's just happened, Gregor.
For helping
Mount
us out.
Pearl is actually now ahead of
Darcy
Halifax
Butler.
Trojans.
Darcy Butler made a move on Keelan Bellis, and he has 2 body lengths ahead.
Yeah, that has changed so much in the last 50 meters. That's
Yeah,
insane.
taking over from Darcy Butler is going to be Daniel Pierce, taking over from Keelan Bellis in lane 5, Zachary Marquez.
And as you can see here, third place, still anyone's game. All of these swimmers are very close
Yeah,
together.
in lane 2, diving is going to be Giacomo Saldi. In lane 6, it's going to be Nelson Daniels. In lane 7, it's Thomas Best. In lane 3, Daniel Duguay. Lane 8 from the Crusaders, we see 14-year-old Luke Ellis swimming in for Gabriel Levine. In lane 6, I said it before, I'll say it again, Nelson Daniels hopping in right now. Lane 1, Jack Robinson taking over from teammate Charlie Leckie. And wow, Adam, you said it before, Mount Pearl took the lead back.
Well, Mount Pearl did that literally in the other race there that we just watched.
Yeah, Darcy Butler had a great second half of that 2 free, and we know, we don't know, but just looking at that, I think his
You
race
have
plan
to
was
assume-
to negative split that.
Yeah,
What
that
does
they're
negative
very
split mean,
good at
Adam?
negative splitting. Negative splitting is when your first half is slower than your second half.
Yeah, very hard to do, but honestly, that
It's
is
very
amazing.
impressive.
Very impressive. Yeah, lane 4 flipping at a 4:59. Lane 5 flipping at a 5:07.6. Lane 2 flipping at a 5:12.25. And we see lane 2 is putting the moves on. Maybe they have enough room to catch the Trojans.
Maybe they do.
Again, still one swimmer to go.
It
Anybody's
still
race.
means it is literally anyone's game. coming in here next is SWAT. And then lane 8's Crusaders and lane 1's Halifax Trojans. And still in the lead is Mount Pearl with Daniel Pierce.
Wow, you feel it here, Adam. Like, people are cheering on, and I think it's the race for second.
It is the race for second right now. Unless something crazy happens with Mount Pearl, they seem to have their thing solidified. But Crusaders seem to be making a move on Halifax Trojans.
Diving in for Mount Pearl's Felix Shepard to close it off. For the Trojans, going to be Hassan Hosni in lane 2. John Collette for the Crusaders. In lane 3, taking over from Daniel Duguay is going to be Juan Langarcia Cabredo. And in lane 7, closing in is going to be 13-year-old Nathan Wilson. We just love to see this, Adam.
We do.
Swimmers, all different ages, all contributing to the team's greater good.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
it's-
awesome. That's what I love about swimming in age group is it's a very
Team-oriented sport.
team-orientated sport, and it's very broad with everyone that you're swimming with. It's a large group of a lot of different people. It's very fun.
Absolutely. In lane 6, Eugene Legge, he just hopped in. Eugene Legge hopped in from SWAT. Lane 8, Aiden Airy, and in lane 1, Ethan Daniel.
And
I-
Mount Pearl is still in the lead.
we can
by-
even say that for university swimming, Adam.
yeah,
the team
it's
environment.
slightly smaller group, but
Smaller
it
group,
is
but I
still
feel like it's a tighter-knit community as well.
very tight. Like I live with 4 or 5 swimmers that I've already swam with.
Absolutely, yeah. And I have 2 swimmers who are also, I live with 2 other swimmers. Shout out Freddie Chandler Bass. Shout out Cole Mitchell.
I'm not shitting on my roommates.
All good. Freddie Chandler Bass is actually doing the on-deck commentary.
And he's doing a swell job.
Swell job alongside Ewan McLean.
Who happens to be my roommate.
Yeah, and Cole Mitchell is unfortunately not here because he's still at work. Doing his co-op right now.
Where's his
Commerce
co-op?
student. Commerce student. He's in Lower Sackville.
Oh, fun.
Sac Vegas, yep. So he's doing a great job over there. And I think he's going to join us tomorrow night. He's gonna
That'll
come
be
watch.
awesome.
Yep. But back to the action, Adam. Here we are, 25 meters to go. Mount Pearl Marlins. Still a decisive lead, but look,
still
Trojans,
a healthy lead. But Trojans is putting it all out there in the water,
Yeah.
which you'll love to see.
solidifying their second place right here. And it will be the Mount Pearl Marlins, 5 meters to go. They're going to touch it at a time of
11.
8:11. Didn't register soft touch, but Trojans are going to touch in at an 8:15.82. Third place is going to be lane 3 from Fredericton. They're going to touch in at a time of, 8:24.44. And in lane 2, the Crusaders, 8:28.86.
Those are both fantastic times. Everyone who swam today should feel very proud of themselves.
Yep, absolutely. Give yourselves a pat on the back, but you know what? Buckle up because this meet is far from over.
It's just ramping up, actually.
Yep.
Lane 7 just touched in with a time of,
Lane 7 touched in with a time of 8:48.68.
and that's St. John's. In lane 6, SWA is touching in with.
8:57.94.
And coming in for
Oh, wow. Lane 1 turned on the Jets.
lane 8's catching them, though. Lane 8 Crusaders, lane 1 Halifax Trojans.
Lane 1 gets at the touch, 9:10.60. Lane 8, 9:10.74.
That was fantastic swimming today, everybody.
Disqualification in Heat 2 of the men's, lane 5.
Heat 2, Lane 5 has been disqualified.
That is very sad, everybody. That is it for the swimming of this meet, though. Everyone should be very proud of their swimming.
Again, thank you. I'm Gregor DeVoe,
I'm Adam Bama.
and we will be joining you again tomorrow evening for day 2 of the
And when
2023.
does that start? 5?
I believe it starts at 5 o'clock. Yep. So I'll be joining you tomorrow for the 2023 David Fry East Coast Championships.
Have a great night, everyone.
Safe travels home.